get spit by a bear in the neighborhood. Call Joe Murray.
I happen to trust Joe Murray. First time I ever met Joe Murray was at a Hooters.
I like that.
Vomit. Whoa.
Welcome in 98.5, the Sports Hub of Joe Murray with you tonight until 11 o'clock. Full show. Oh, we got a lot to get into, and we're going to continue to break down the Patriots' Week 2 opponent, the Seattle Seahawks, as they are welcome to Gillette Stadium this Sunday in the Patriots' home opener. So we'll certainly get into that. You just heard Jacoby Brissett talking about Michael McDonald, the youngest head coach in the NFL this year, came over from the Ravens. I got some numbers for you regarding Jacoby Brissett and his experience against a Michael McDonald defense, but also some other defenses that the Patriots will see this year. And how does that change from last week to this week? So we're going to start there tonight. We will get into the Hall of Fame article that came out today regarding Robert Kraft, some really just gross things, in my opinion. We'll get into that coming up in just a little bit. And let's not forget, the Patriots are playing on a short week next week when they take on the Jets. So the Patriots have 3 games in 11 days. Seattle on Sunday and then the Jets on Thursday. We'll take a look at how the Patriots could prepare for the Jets coming up next week. The phone number here is 617-779-0985. Dan Lifshatz will be in studio for 1 hour today. We'll go around the NFL. We'll break down every game with a betting perspective as well and get some of Dan's thoughts as well. I do want to look at some of the Patriots rookies and how they perform this weekend. And I am officially on Maye watch. We got some answers yesterday, but I was watching Drake Maye on the sideline week 1. I thought it was interesting he wasn't wearing a helmet. He wasn't ready to go, it looked like. But it sounds like we got some answers for it. And there's an article up right now at 985thesportsup.com detailing some of those things. And we'll have that for you later on tonight. Again, the phone number here is 617-779-0985. And, of course, you can watch us on YouTube. And this is how I do it, everyone. I take the old trusty remote, I hit the speaker, and I say YouTube, 98.5 The Sports Hub. Boom. And then it pops right up on your television. And you can also join the chat if you'd like, where there's people already in there right now, 42 people hanging out with us to start the show, and that will only grow throughout the night. So Patriots and Seattle Seahawks this Sunday. The Patriots scored 16 points last week. They got 3 of those points off of a turnover. And the question is it sustainable? And it just absolutely can't be. But how sustainable is the Patriots' success? Tom Curran, you're going to have to win on those margins on a weekly basis. And, well, the Patriots did not win on those margins a year ago. Certainly not special teams. And they didn't really create a lot of turnovers. And they were awful when they scored under 20 points, 1-11. So how sustainable is only scoring 16 points a game or less, or their style of play? Quote here, it's impossible to anticipate each week that you're going to make plays immediately to save points. Like the strip by Kyle Duggar. The guy's on the doorstep, you come up with a strip like that, you can't anticipate that. How about Hunter Henry having the opportunity to make a heady play in the end zone to pry loose an interception? Like, Jacoby Brissett can't count on that from every single receiver. But what that should do is remind people, as the Patriots do move forward, that's the reality of the team this year. It was great to win week 1. And you did it on the road against an elite team. And, right, you won by the margins. Can they do that on a weekly basis? I say no. I was encouraged by what I saw, though. I saw players that wanted to play for Gerard Mayo. I saw Ramondre Stevenson wanted the football and run downhill. He did that. The offensive line ran block very well. Now, I think they had some struggles against the pass, but overall, Jacoby Brissett was only sacked one time. But can the Patriots make enough of these plays to get them? I'm just bringing it up, but I think they're going to have the lowest amount of wins, okay? And I was under 5.5 to begin with. But if they make these kind of plays, they'll be better than 5 wins. Can they flirt with it? Can they do it? Did Sunday's performance show you that it could be a little bit more interesting this year than we all anticipated? Yeah. But I think that all changes this Sunday. I think Seattle's loaded offensively. 3 great wide receivers led by DK Metcalf, Jackson Smith, and Jigba. Right? Tyler Lockett, Fant. They have a lot of skill players, and let's not forget they lean on their running game too. Kenneth Walker had over 100 yards last week. Charbonnet, one of the guys they drafted out of UCLA, had a touchdown. Geno Smith. We all have our thoughts on Geno Smith. We watched him with the Jets. The guy's a potential Pro Bowl player and a fringe playoff quarterback. But the Michael McDonald, Michael McDonald. Sorry, I was thinking of the other Michael McDonald. He's had a history against Jacoby Brissett. And I wanted to give you some of those numbers coming up here in just a little bit. But do you think the Patriots this season can flirt each week with making plays to keep them in games and potentially be better than anticipated? We'll start there tonight at 617-779-0985. Do want to give you those Michael McDonald numbers versus Jacoby Brissett and how Brissett has played against that defense. We'll get into the Robert Kraft stuff as well, and Dan Lifshatz will be here in studio for 1 hour. We got Skaz here, our intern Joe's here as well, and you can join us on YouTube here until 11 o'clock tonight. I'm Joe Murray. You're listening to 98.5 The Sports Hub.
Don't go anywhere. There's more Joe Murray.
As always, Skaz is here. We got our intern, Joe, today. That was Gerard Mayo on the Michael McDonald. His defense. And, of course, you can call in at 617-779-0985. So just a couple of notes from the weekend, because I thought this was fairly interesting. But in 2022, while playing for Alex Van Pelt, Brissett was sacked 3 or more times against the following defensive play callers. I'll start with the Dolphins. The Browns scored 17 points. He was sacked 3 times. Against Belichick and the Patriots, was sacked 4 times. The Browns scored 15 points. Against Todd Bowles' defense, and the Browns scored 17 points. They did score 6 in OT, though. 4 sacks. And against Mike McDonald, the Browns scored 20 points against the Ravens, but he was sacked 5 times. So, I'm going to do some Joe math here, okay? Let's just give me a second here. I'm going to pull out my calendar, Skaz, because I want to know, but these aren't great offensive numbers. So we got 17 plus 15 plus 17 plus 20. Okay, so that's 69. 1, 2, 3, 4. So, okay, so that means that they are averaging, and just so I have this right, because it's not good, he's averaging 17 points a game against teams that get after the quarterback and sack the quarterback. So I look at that as, personally, not good. How is it sustainable that the Patriots can score 16 points or 17 points and they actually win the game? It's impossible. And it's something that Bill Belichick always wanted to do, right? But against the Michael McDonald defense, the last time he saw one, he was sacked 5 times. And the Patriots' offensive line was, like I mentioned, pretty good against the run, but they were awful at times. They only 1 sack. So when I say awful, there were a lot of breakdowns. Jacoby Brissett called the checks at the line great. He watched some of the Bengals defenses, knew to kind of fake left and step up in the pocket and found plenty of lanes to throw. They also had wide open guys that he missed. So all week long, I've tried to be positive about the Patriots. But you know what? Now, I'm going to tell you what they did wrong. Do you know how many times Jalen Polk was wide open that Jacoby Brissett missed it? Do you know how many times Hendrickson would try to run outside, but it was Brissett that would run up the middle to kind of help things out? There was missed blocks. There were bad routes being done. It could be a cleaner game. It really could be. That's why I'm saying that if they can still establish the run, they might be able to hit on some big plays on play action. And although these numbers that I just gave you regarding the sack numbers for Jacoby Brissett, the Patriots, in order to score over 17 points a game, they're going to have to do it with play action. They'll have to get Pop Douglas involved. They need to find a way to find Jalen Polk, who is open multiple times. Yeah, it's great to lean on Hunter Henry or Austin Hooper in the tight ends. But you have to get big plays. I think you have to do that against Seattle in order to put pressure. And here's the other thing with Seattle. Their defense is good. Their defense is very good. They have some outstanding players on their team, and you know them. Like, I'll just give you the names. How about up front? You guys know who Leonard Williams is. I mean, this is a defensive tackle that's going to put pressure on whoever's at guard, center, wherever. The dude's a menace and can stop the run. They just had this guy, Boye Mafe, last week, who is one of the top pass rushers in week 1. They drafted Byron Murphy from Texas. And if you want to look at their secondary, Devin Witherspoon's like 6'4" and plays defensive back. He's great. between Woolen and Love and Jenkins, to me, I think their defense is outstanding, and they have a lot of young pieces that they're trying to work in at the moment. But I think they want to run the football. That's what the Patriots are going to tell you. They won't be able to do it without play action, and history will show you that Alex Van Pelt and Brissett have tried, and they've scored an average of 17 points versus some of the top defensive coordinators in the league. And when they played against the Ravens last year, 20 points in total, sacked 5 times. I don't see things changing this weekend. Like, the Bengals had 2 really good pass rushers. They found a way to eliminate those guys. Well, now that you get over the pass rushers, then there's the next level. And then there's their secondary. The Pats are going to have to take shots. And that could lead to sacks. But I don't think they can beat the Seattle Seahawks scoring just 17 points this week. So your thoughts on that at 617-779-0985. Let's go to a call here. We got Peter on the line. He's in Ashland. What's up, Peter?
Hey, Joe. How you doing?
Good, man.
So I usually try to stay positive with the Patriots, so forgive me if I'm blinded by my optimism. But I thought Keon White had a hell of a day in Cincinnati. I feel like it's a pretty general assumption. Going into a game against the Seattle O-line that's pretty banged up, how do you think Keon's going to do, and how do you think he's going to do long-term over the season? Thanks.
Well, I think if they can somehow play him in multiple roles, not just with a hand down, I think you can do multiple things. That's the one big thing I saw off the bat with Keon White. The other question is, what's up with George Fant, the right tackle for the Seattle Seahawks? He left last week's game with a knee injury. I think he's going to be out. I don't know if there's been an actual update on that. Actually, let me look up the Seahawks injury report. But that to me would have been a really tough matchup for Keon White. So advantage him this week. Advantage him. I think he can be something. Like, the Patriots always like those type of down linemen that can really find pressure from being a down lineman. What I saw was him playing a little bit more of an elephant role, standing up at times over the nose guard. That was different. I haven't seen that before. So I think he's a good player. I think they found a gem. I mean, the guy looks the part, don't you think? Looking at the injury report right now, and I'll have this for you in headlines, but Kenneth Walker did not participate. George Fant did not participate. And 2 of their linebackers did not participate. So, got to keep your eyes on that. I don't think Fant's going to play, but Walker said he was fine. So, keep your eyes on that one. If somehow Kenneth Walker and Fant didn't play, there's an advantage for your New England Patriots. 617-779-0985. Also, for the defense crowd that, says, well, they could score 16 points if they only give up 10. Yeah. DK Metcalf, everybody. Tyler Lockett, Jackson Smith and Jigba, Laviska Shenault. These are fast players. These are really good receivers. I think they're going to be tested this week. I think the Patriots are short after Marcus Jones. Marco Wilson's their 4th corner. I think they're going to put him to work this week. And if you remember last week, he had a penalty. But between running the football, and again, I know that Kenneth Walker is going to, he missed time with an oblique injury. So, Charbonnet is a guy that can step right up and play. He's done it before. But I think their offense is something that the Patriots defense should certainly be wary about. And last week I told you, DK Metcalf and Tyler Lockett, 9 catches for 102 yards. This could be a week for Jackson Smith and Jigba against Jonathan Jones. I would watch that matchup. This kid JSN's legit, out of Ohio State. The fact he fell to them, it put question marks into DK Metcalf's future, to be honest with you. Last night I read that DK Metcalf restructured his deal to help the team save $9 million this year. So was that a move to maybe help them with a long-term extension with him? And I think he's somebody the Patriots should have in mind next year potentially if they want to acquire their next wide receiver. Let's talk to Ethan. He's in Shrewsbury. What's going on, Ethan? You're on the Sports Hub.
Hey, how you doing, Joe? You have a good weekend?
I did, man. How you doing?
I'm doing good. Just two things real quick. First, little betting thing. Did you take Pat's money line live by any chance?
No, but it was 6.5 second half, and I was thinking about I took the Bengals. I was thinking about washing out my bet.
It was crazy. Me and my boys, we all chimed in and we made a little parlay with the Pats money line and it hit, and we all went crazy. But just to chime in, so I'm not really high on the Pats this year. I kind of feel like it's a reflection of last year, considering how heavily we rely on our defense and when we're going to expect to win by only scoring 17 points. But do you really have that much faith in Geno Smith?
Yeah, why not?
Because I understand where you're coming from with the wide receivers, but did you watch a playoff game last year when Andrew Luck subbed them in and drove them down the field?
Andrew Luck?
Oh, no, Drew Luck. Sorry. Drew Luck when he won in that playoff game.
Drew Luck. I mean, I think he's been a really serviceable guy, to be honest with you. You look at it last year, he went 8-7 in 15 games. He threw 9 interceptions and 20 touchdowns. What's wrong with that? He threw for 3,600 yards.
I mean, when you have Jackson Smith and Jigba, DK Metcalf, Tyler Lockett, and then Kenneth Walker, I mean, you should be able to be that productive.
Yeah, but that sounds like an insult to Geno Smith.
I don't think Geno Smith's that reliable, and I feel as though that this week is our only for defense. I really feel like if we get pressure on Geno Smith, he's really going to fold under the pressure.
So, dude, he's thrown for 8,000 yards in 2 years, 50 touchdowns, and 20 interceptions.
Okay, do the Pats not have a top 7 defense?
Yeah, but so what?
What do you mean, so what? You don't think
if Geno Smith and the Seahawks score 26 points like they did last week, the Pats are going to lose.
You think they're going to score 26?
I'll get you the total, actually. I'll look up the betting number.
I think is it 21.5 or is it 24? I think it might be 24.5. But
okay.
Sorry for keep going back and forth, but just to wrap up so you can get to other people. I really think that the Pats could go 2-0 just based on their defense, and I understand that their offense isn't really explosive, and we're just going to have to rely on Ramondre Stevenson. But I feel like I don't have a problem with that. And we didn't even make any good passes last week, like you mentioned.
Yeah, I think Geno Smith's a pretty and to your point about him having the weapons, that makes him better. But to me, he's very efficient. I don't know. I'd take 50 touchdowns and 20 interceptions in 2 years with 8,000 yards, wouldn't you? The guy was a Pro Bowler a year ago. And yeah, when Drew Lock was there, Drew Lock had success because why? He's got DK Metcalf and Tyler Lockett. So, I think Geno's good. He's better than what Brissett is. I do. He's better than what Brissett is. All right, we got to get the headlines. We'll hear what Skaz has to say about it. Also, this Robert Kraft thing. Woof. 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 I thought Gerard Mayo was having a really bad offseason. Things aren't looking good for Robert Kraft. We'll get into that coming up on the other side. I'm Joe Murray here on 98.5 The Sports Hub.
Sports Hub headlines.
right, back here 98.5 The Sports Hub. I'm Joe Murray. Dan Lifshatz will be in studio for 1 hour. Coming up in about 20 minutes. We're going to go around the NFL. Tom G is in our chat. He said he's got a fever. Gold fever. Oh, my God, I love Goldfinger sauce. A lot of people saying, I agree, Geno Smith stinks, huh? All right. Well, tomorrow on the show, I will have Geno Smith breakdowns. I don't know what you people are watching if you think Geno Smith isn't that good. This guy was drafted, got punched in the face, was literally out of the league for a while, right?
I think Patriots fans are thinking of Jets. Geno Smith is part of the problem.
Like, he was with the Jets. Actually, he started 2 years, right? Was the backup for 2 more years. Went to the Giants and then the Chargers, if you remember.
I don't even remember him on the Chargers.
No, me either. LAC, would that be LA Chargers? Yep, Chargers, 2018. Like, think about that journey. And then he went to Seattle and backed up Russ for 2 years and learned. He went 9-8 his first year, went to the playoffs, had a 69 completion percent, almost 70%.
Nice.
Nice. He threw for 4,200 yards, 30 touchdowns, 11 interceptions. I didn't even look up his rushing numbers. I'm sure he had some.
I think he had a 35-yard rushing touchdown this past weekend.
There you go. Yeah, he had. So he's had a touchdown almost every year. Wow. I think he's better than Jacoby Brissett. Like, who wins the quarterback matchup? What are we doing here? It's Geno. Yeah, you all remember the guy that got punched in the face by a teammate. The guy that was drafted in the second round that got fed to the Wolves. That's who you remember. And I may be mistaken, but did Geno Smith beat the Patriots one year? I'm pretty sure he did. I'm going to have to go back now. I'm going to have to go. I said Noah Fant. Why is somebody laughing at me? Someone went, Noah Fant, LOL. Is he not good anymore? Is he the starting tight end?
Noah Fant, yeah, but he has not been great. But yeah, I think he's their starting tight end.
Yeah, but like Mike Gesicki was a starting tight end. Like,
dropped one.
Like, what are we doing here?
Geno Smith has a record of 1-3 versus the Patriots in his career.
One time. One time.
That would be 2013 when he was with the Jets.
Told you. I knew it. You know why I think I know what game this was? It was the game where the Patriots had the Jets went for the game-winning field goal. And they missed, but they called that stupid penalty against the Pats where you drive the guy in his ass from behind.
It was the overtime game where Nick Folk hit the overtime winner for the Jets, 30-27.
Did I just nail that? Yeah, that's what happened. Geno Smith beat the Patriots. He doesn't suck. Oh, you people. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Geno Smith stinks. Geno Smith isn't good. He's thrown 50 touchdowns. Have the Patriots seen 50 touchdowns in 2 years? No. No. How many touchdowns have the Patriots seen in 2 years? Look it up. Sorry, Joe. Whoever's back there. No, I'm going to say under 50. And yeah, well, Joe, you know, the Patriots are one of the worst offenses in the league. Yeah, so don't say that guy sucks. Anyways, this Robert Kraft thing I got to get to. Man, was this thing just laid out there today, huh? Oh, boy. ESPN, a nice little takedown. Here's the headline. Winners write history inside Robert Kraft's 12-year Hall of Fame quest. Hot take off the bat. You should never really want a quest to be in the Hall of Fame. You shouldn't, like, pom-pom your way to that. I think that things speak for themselves when they come to the Hall of Fame. Not all of them are right. But do you really need to petition or... You know who I think someone who probably might have needed to do it, and it's in a different sport, but Jim Rice. right? The guy was held back because maybe he wasn't the nicest to the media. And on the 14th year, number 14 got in. And then he was the one who wanted it. And once that all happened, he made it in. Football's a little bit different. Obviously, they're who they let in and skill players and owners and even refs are making it now. Do I think Robert Kraft's a Hall of Famer? Absolutely. When? I don't know. But is it pressing to anybody? Do football fans, are they sitting there saying, man, they got to get Robert Kraft in that Hall of Fame, man? Because I was waiting for Bill Parcells for years. So I don't sit here and say, me personally, it's going to happen. But does it need to happen first? And I'll get Skaz's take on this in a second, but I just want to throw this out there. I'm curious if this Robert Kraft Hall of Fame quest that they're speeding up here has anything to do with the new rules that they put in this year regarding coaches in the NFL. It used to be 5 years. Now it's 1. If Bill Belichick does not become a coach next offseason, he can go right to Canton. And he would get in before who? Robert Kraft. So, I'm just bringing it to light.
Yeah, I mean, this is something we've discussed since that rule was announced. I think McCarthy might have been in the night that was announced. But yeah, it would be, I mean, just from a pure comedy standpoint, it would be very funny if Bill Belichick got into the Hall of Fame before Robert Kraft, and I'm sure that would bother Robert Kraft. I think the really interesting part of the article for me is how turned off it seems the Hall of Fame committee was by the campaign, by how hard they were campaigning for this.
Yes.
And obviously I can't relate to being on the Hall of Fame committee or anything like that, but I think there is something to someone, wanting something like too bad almost, like feeling like they're owed it. And the Hall of Fame should never be something that you feel like you're owed. It's something that you earn, that's deserved, that's bestowed upon you because of what you've done. And like you said, Robert Kraft is absolutely a Hall of Famer. 100% deserves to be a Hall of Famer. But I just think it certainly seems from that article that the committee is not a fan of him, the way he's going about it, I should say.
The Hall of Fame is not a PR tour. You don't have public relations regarding the Hall of Fame. You don't do it. Robert Kraft is desperate to get into the Pro Football Hall of Fame. He was pissed when Jerry Jones got in instead of him. Per ESPN, no current owner has tried harder to get in the Hall of Fame or been denied longer. Beginning in 2012, Kraft supporters have lobbied Hall of Fame voters on his behalf. Eddie DeBartolo Jr., the former San Francisco 49ers owner, was inducted in 2016 despite losing his team in 2000 because of his connection to an extortion case. DeBartolo has 5 Lombardi trophies. Kraft, at the time, had 4. Some Hall of Fame voters assured the disappointment members of Kraft's inner circle that he would be next. Then Jerry Jones was inducted in August of 2017. The Cowboys owner threw himself a glitzy party in Canton, headlined by Justin Timberlake. Back in Foxborough, Kraft and his supporters reacted to Jones' induction with anger and confusion. They seethed that the Hall voters didn't seem to appreciate Kraft's work to grow the league through the media and labor deals and the Patriots' unparalleled dynasty. Quote, Kraft saw the selection of his arch rival as an insult, a verdict that Jones is more responsible for the NFL's astonishing success. He hasn't been to the NFC title game in 2 decades, and he gets in? Kraft told a confidant. How does that work? And here's why. There are blemishes on the Patriots. You fans, you may not like that. In the end, the rings still matter. But are there blemishes? Yes. The last one to bring up, Robert Kraft sought editorial control of the Bill Belichick documentary hit piece Dynasty, despite denying it at the time. Remember publicly he denied it? Per ESPN, Kraft owns the film and television rights to the Dynasty book. And according to documents obtained by ESPN, that means the book by acclaimed author Jeff Benedict could be turned into a film only with Kraft's permission. And according to emails, documents, and sources, Kraft owns the docuseries, licensed it to Apple, and sought editorial control. That's not a good look. I'm sure some of you are like, yeah, who cares? But when it comes to the Patriots and what the transition that they just had, it seems like Belichick was the fall guy. But according to this article, not only did he have a PR team trying to get into the Hall of Fame, he denied having involvement in the Dynasty documentary, yet owned it, licensed it to Apple, and had editorial control. This is like Hulk Hogan, to use a wrestling reference. When Hulk Hogan said he never uses creative control, everyone, literally, you could feel the eye roll. By the way, he was in the area today. I sent Bird there. I'm waiting to hear. Yes, I sent Bird to go see. Hey, Bird, go meet Hulk Hogan. Okay, Joe. But yeah, that basically he has lied. Robert Kraft has lied. He's lied. Do you know who else called them liars, by the way, this offseason? Matthew Judon. Called them liars about the contract. So, do I think Kraft should be in the Hall of Fame? Yes. Does he have every accolade possible to be in the Hall of Fame? Yes. But the whole PR campaign to get in there and lobbying and then being upset when Jerry Jones makes it and he doesn't, that's not a good look. Anything to add here, Skaz, on that one?
No, I think you're right on, Joe. I think the Hall of Fame committee was turned off by the fact that it comes across in that article that Robert Kraft feels he's owed the Hall of Fame thing, and he's deserving. I 100% agree that he's deserving, but I just think when it's something that's that prestigious, it's held in the standard that the NFL Hall of Fame is, and I know we joke about the Hall of Fames and how everybody gets in nowadays, especially in different sports. But I think the committee really is turned off by the fact that he's acting as if it's owed to him, and his time is going to come. It should come sooner than later. I get the frustration on his end, but this story, it's not doing him any favors. I'll say that.
Oh, and that Dynasty one is not doing any favors at all whatsoever. So your thoughts on that at 617-779-0985. We will take a quick break. Someone just goes, no way now. How do owners belong in the Hall of Fame? I think owners belong in the Hall of Fame. Certainly. They certainly do. We'll react to this. And Dan Lifshatz, he's here. And he'll be here for the next hour. We'll take a quick break. I'm Joe Murray here on 98.5 The Sports Hub.
More Joe Murray coming up on the Sports Hub.
Oh, no, an error. It's now 1-1. Bases are loaded. Let's see how this thing. Nick Pavetta's got the start. He's got 5 strikeouts already in this one on 48 pitches. And the injury report is out for the Patriots and Seahawks. Kenneth Walker, George Fant, both did not practice today. Patriots, they were only without City So. Headlines, they are brought to you by Eastern Massachusetts leader in drain cleaning and pipe lining, Drains by James. Slow drain, clog drain? You need to contact Drains by James today at drainsbyjames.com. I'm Joe Murray. Your next update is in 1 hour.
Get the
There's the potential there for big stuff.
98.5 The Sports Hub app. Get the app.
All right, back here, 98.5 The Sports Hub. Hour 2. And in studio right now is one Dan Lifshatz of the Over Under podcast. He is here. Hello, Dan.
It was a painful ride in.
Yeah, you know, I've heard that from everybody.
It's a painful ride in. Mostly because I heard some interesting takes.
The Geno Smith doesn't suck.
If you think Geno Smith sucks, you probably should not be wagering. I'm being dead serious. Take your money. Don't bet again. That's how bad of a take
call it
that
Joe
is.
Me the money. Just give it to me.
Just give it to Joe. Donate
Joe me
it,
the money.
Donate it or just keep it for yourself. Because if you think that Geno Smith sucks, graded out as a top 10 quarterback last year's in Pro Football Focus, and if you think that Geno Smith sucks, that's fine. He still has 3 elite wide receivers, so you can't just say, well, he sucks and it's the wide receivers. That's great. They're still effing there. So they're there. The running back's still there. I mean, what a take, man. Geno Smith has been very good. And regardless about how you feel about him individually, it's the same sort of situation that Baker Mayfield was in last year and that Sam Darnold is in this year. And by the way, Darnold, number 1 quarterback by PFF last week. Number 1 quarterback overall by a wide margin. I mean wide. He was phenomenal last week. It's going to be the case all year long.
Speaking of last week, so Dan, I bet the Bengals. I lost, but all week long I basically thought the Patriots could hit some soft spots in the Bengals. So I thought that the Patriots could keep it close, and they did. So they were the biggest winner of the week as far as the highest underdog they win. So the Patriots are looking to pull off another upset this week. The look-ahead line was 2.5. It went to 3.5, yet Fant could be out, and Kenneth Walker says he's going to be okay. But that's a big loss if they lose their big right tackle. So, why'd the move go 2.5 to 3.5, you think?
So, I mean, the reality is, despite the fact that the Patriots won last week, I think it said, and by the way, I am a pro Jacoby Brissett guy. I wanted nothing, and I mean nothing to do with Dre May. Wow. I'm in a rough segment here. Drake May wanted nothing at all to do with him. I think Drake May is going to be a terrible quarterback, but regardless, the reality is he's not close to ready, regardless, however you feel about him. They need a guy who's stable like Brissett, and Brissett made the right decisions. He did a few things, last week, and they did enough to win that game. But in reality, it was more about Cincinnati being horrendous. Defensively, they were A-okay. They didn't do a whole lot on the defensive line. Hendrickson only had a few pressures here and there. After they took out Chooks, who was also graded by
12 plays in.
0 grade by PFF. The worst possible grade.
I
0.
give Mayo credit for that.
Oh, me too, 100%. And by the way, I don't like Jerome Mayo as a coach, but I thought he did a very decent job after the kickoff. You start with the kickoff, and you're like, oh no. I thought he did a very decent job. Other bats looked okay. You're not going to get that this week. This is not going to be a team who isn't ready and, doesn't have any of their offensive weapons. They don't have Jamar Chase playing 40% of the snaps or whatever. I think he played 60, but you know what I mean? It's not going to be T. Higgins with without a hamstring. This is going to be a team full go who played a better secondary and I'd argue a better defense than yours last week in Denver and, put up 26 against them. I don't see how you could want to be on the Patriots this week. You have, in my opinion, one of the worst offensive lines, if not the worst offensive line in football. I think that's going to get wildly exposed this week. And no one's really talking about, that. I mean, Vidarian Lowe still was not good.
Well, I thought Brissett was the reason. Like, he would call these checks. And it was funny, third quarter, the Patriots had 0 first downs. And what they did was they moved Hendrickson from outside to inside, so they brought inside pressure.
Yep.
Well, the thing with that was Brissett couldn't step up in the pocket and get those first downs. Where when he was rushing from the outside, the Bengals were in this cover 2 where they had no one in the middle of the field.
Yep,
so all they had to do was Lowe could just let him go by, and all he had to do was step up and find the space. I don't think Seattle with McDonald's going to do that this week.
And I'd also argue that McDonald's the best coaching hire of the offseason. I actually don't think it was all that close. You saw how easy Baltimore's defense was to move the ball against. They're going to be more of a bend-don't-break defense this year compared to what they were under McDonald, which was aggressive, fast-acting. And you saw if you watch any of the Denver game, Seattle's defense looked elite. And I mean elite. I mean, they were everywhere that Denver was. And the only reason Denver even scored in that game was because their special teams was a major factor.
There was one safety from the offense. Yep.
2 safeties.
Yep.
Two safeties, but also there's the field position battle with Denver's special teams were phenomenal in that game. They badly outplayed Seattle in that aspect. But other than that, I think this is going to be. I think this is going to be bad. I think this is going to be one of those games where everyone's going to say, "Oh, the Patriots." I heard Zone Beetle talk about potentially 10, 11 wins of this team. I mean, guys.
Now, Dan, I don't think they're Carolina.
I think they were
Giants
kidding
bet.
mostly, but
No, I have a bet. It's up there plus 345. Fewest amount of wins in the NFL. I just don't think they're Carolina Giants bad. After 1 week, I'll at least say that.
I don't want to overreact, right? I think the Giants will look better this week. I think they were facing a team that was just significantly more talented than them. I think you should really consider the Raiders in that argument more. Yeah, but
I got a couple of those this week.
Yeah,
teams that lose in week 1. We'll do that. We'll get in that throughout the hour. Let's just stick to Pat. Let me give you a couple of Pat stuff real quick.
Sure.
The Patriots got the upset last week. They were 7-point favorites at kickoff, 7.5 actually. So now here they are, a team that won in week 1 as a 3-point dog or more, is a 3-point dog or more in week 2. It has not happened often, Dan. So in the last 25 teams, 35 teams have done this, and most teams are 6-29 in this spot. The last team to win doing this was the 2021 Raiders. So the Pats would be doing something that's, looking at the numbers, not many teams win back-to-back games outright when they're 3 points or more underdogs back-to-back weeks. And here's the other one with the Patriots. As outright dogs of 6 or more last week in week 1, teams who do that, they're 11-8-3 in week 2 over the last 20 years. So if you like that number, it's at least been successful. But there are some Geno Smith numbers for the people who are Geno Smith haters. He's not a good favorite quarterback. Now, he covered last week, right?
Yep.
But did they cover? Actually, it was 6, right?
Yeah, well, I mean, it depends where you got it. I mean, it was early in the week, it was 5.5. Later in the week, then it moved to 6. It closed 6.5, so it really depends on where you got it. So you can make an argument that he covered and didn't cover at the same time.
Yep. So last 2 years, 10, 16, and 1 is a favorite. He's awesome as an underdog. 12, 22, and 17. So 10 career covers as a favorite. He struggled in that one. And road favorites are 3 or more. Geno Smith, 4-0 in his career.
I just think this is a bad spot for New England. Okay,
Me too.
Coming off that game where I think everyone is now. You take a look at the models. Everyone's all the bookmakers models, everything that they're kind of doing. And they brought the Patriots up, no doubt about it. The Patriots definitely got an upgrade there. I mean, I just don't think the Patriots were all that impressive last week. Now, I think that Jacoby Brissett's going to be steady for you. I think that, your defense is going to be aggressive. I think you can probably win 5 to 7 games like that. I'm not saying that the Patriots are going to be, the worst team in the league or anything like that. I don't believe that, Joe. But I do think that this is a different animal. This is a elite defense, in my opinion. I think this is going to be a top 10, potentially 5 defense in the league now with McDonald there. I think they have a good enough offense. And even without Kenneth Walker, who I do expect to play, Zach Charbonnet has been very adequate when he's filled in. I think he had a touchdown last week as well. So, this is not a team that you're going to feel great against. Now, yes, you're going to have a little bit of advantage on the defensive side against their offensive line. Their offensive line definitely, struggles a little bit, and obviously not having fans is an issue. But just being 100%, transparent here, I played Seattle -3. I wouldn't play at 3.5. I think that's probably my cutoff there. But I certainly would not be saying Geno Smith is a bad quarterback. That's a silly take. It's just not true. And I certainly would not be looking to take the Patriots in this spot. Coming off an outright win in Cincinnati, I think ultimately it's a pretty tough spot for the Patriots to be in, facing an elite defense week number 2, where your offense really didn't do all that much. And by the way, Patriots separation of wide receivers, lowest in the league last week.
I believe Polk was number 1, on the team.
He was. I want to stop hearing about the Patriots wide receivers. Demario Douglas, by the way, the worst wide receiver on the team graded out by PFF last week, and multiple scouts said he looked terrible.
So tell the listeners about Witherspoon then.
Yeah. So that's kind of my issue here is that if you're going to have Witherspoon and you're going to have him with the McDonald defense, I mean, it's not Revis, but it's
he's huge.
Something up there.
Isn't he like 6'4"? What? He's huge.
Yeah,
he was at Illinois.
At Illinois was the number 1 corner.
He's 5'11". I think their other corner. I'll look him up. He's Woolen, I believe it is. Yeah, he's 6'4".
Is 6'4". Yeah,
it's kind of like the old Legion of Boom.
Witherspoon's 6'1", by the way. I don't know what he's listed at.
Okay, I saw 5'11", but they're both big corners.
You see that he was listed at 6'1" in Illinois. I think that's kind of where he was. Regardless, they're very aggressive on the outside. If you couldn't pass against Cincinnati, I have a very hard time believing that you're going to be able to pass against Seattle. It's just a really bad matchup and in my opinion, a pretty bad spot for the Patriots too. Coming off that win, it's a bit of a letdown spot regardless of how you feel. Oh, it's at home. Yes, they're traveling west to east, which is a dead angle. It has been for, 14 years. So that whole angle can I hear they're going west east is the dumbest angle in the world, seriously.
Well, it doesn't work anymore. It used to be something really big.
12 years. I think for 12 to 14 years it's been dead. I mean, the angle has been dead for a long time. So, that I think it was 2008, I think was one of the main years. So you were talking about a long time ago that this was a true angle. Seattle's going to get here early. McDonald knows this team very well. I just think this is not a great situation for the Patriots. I would be Seattle or nothing. Again, they were my survivor last week, Joe. I won't obviously take them on Survivor again because I like them, but I think they win this game pretty easily.
A couple other things I wanted to mention. You can certainly call in at 617-779-0985. This is Jacoby Brissett versus Michael McDonald last year of the Ravens. And it's funny because I looked up Todd Bowles, who's a great defender, right? Belichick and Boyer. I just threw the Dolphins in there for whatever reason. But McDonald last year versus Jacoby Brissett. The Browns scored 20 points, but he was sacked 5 times. This is where I think the Patriots are going to have to do something, Dan, this week where I think they're going to get in trouble.
Well, Brissett wasn't on the Browns last week.
Oh, sorry. So the last time they played, my bad.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I got you.
The last time that they played.
Well, it was also the worst defense that McDonald had was 2 years ago. And then, of course, last year they become a top 3 defense in the NFL. And, again, it looks like Seattle, again, to me, is going to be borderline right there. He also had legitimate weapons that year in Cleveland, or at least better than they currently have right now. So, again, no matter how you cut this, to me, square or not, I don't care. This is a Seattle spot with a number. I wouldn't play 3.5, but 3 is a bet for me.
Sometimes in my brain, the whole Brissett last year thing just doesn't pop in my head.
Yeah,
like I just forgot about him. So whenever I say Browns, it was a couple of years ago.
2 years ago.
But sacked 5 times. But I think if the Patriots are going to have success this week, and you just mentioned the wide receivers and guys that they got to get open, play action. I don't know if they can do it. They were 21st in the NFL ranked in week 1 doing play action.
Yep.
They couldn't. They couldn't do it. But here's the deal. The Seattle knows they're going to run. So this is why I say early in downs, try the play action. You got to find Douglas and Polk. And if they can't do that, Dan, I think their offense is going to score 16 or less. And these are the teams I brought up. Last time he played the Dolphins, 17. Patriots, 15. Todd Bowles, 17. McDonald, 20. But the Patriots won't win if they can't score more than 17 points in a game.
You got to get. I personally think if you want to win this week, I think you have to get to 20. I think it's a race. I think it will be a race to 20 total, and the game's 38. So these points are valuable. Their team total is 18.5. I don't think they're getting there. I think this is. I would suspect this is. Again, I really thought before the year this would be a decent spot for the Patriots. I didn't expect McDonald to turn the defense around so quickly. What I saw last week was one of the best defenses I've seen, regardless if it was against Bo Nix or Josh Allen. It does not matter, and the guy you have is Jacoby Brissett. So I'm concerned. I'm very concerned about this situation for them.
All right, we'll go around week one in a minute here, but do you see this Robert Kraft stuff that came out today?
Yes, I did.
This is not a Joe Murray initiative, by the way. This was an article ESPN wrote, and I'm just reading what they wrote and reacting to it.
Yep.
So basically, he has been doing a PR campaign to get into the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, for a long time now.
And is publicly upset about it.
Yeah.
In a way, I'm sorry we didn't bring this up yet, but shouldn't some people be kissing Robert Kraft's ass for kind of helping out and getting people back to football and even the cable deals?
Sure. Here's my problem with Kraft and why I'm certainly not eager to put him in the Hall of Fame. Just go since 2001. Okay, just go all the way back to 2001. You know where the Patriots rank in actual cash spending since 2001?
Oh, it's not good. But what is it this year though? Because that's all.
Yes,
that's all anyone's going to tell you.
This year, I've heard the beat writers. This year, they're top 10. They're top 10. Can you give me the last 23 years? Oh, I'll tell you, it's
28th,
bad.
28th?
I think they're 29th or 30th.
Okay.
I think as well.
So bottom.
Yeah. So you know what? I don't really. No offense. I like Robert Kraft. He's never done anything to me personally. I appreciate everything he's done, but why do you get credit when you didn't do anything? Your quarterback did a lot. Your coach did a lot. Sure, you kept the relationship. So you deserve to get in the Hall of Fame for managing a relationship between two dudes. Come on, man. Like that to me is a little ridiculous. You didn't draft a quarterback. You know, the coach, you didn't even originally want him. He ended up coming to you after you kind of figured it out. Like, and he gets some credit there, but like to me, yes, Kraft is a Hall of Famer. I'm not like eager to put him in. Like, dude, you didn't spend the money. You could have probably had a couple more Super Bowls if you spent a little bit of money. So, you could wait your turn. That's how I feel.
I think hiring Bill Belichick was his best move.
100%.
Belichick drafting Brady was great. Him giving Drew Bledsoe was not smart, right? In the end, the Bledsoe deal was not smart.
No.
And even at the time, might not have been smart because he was beat up, dude. And you know who Skaz has compared Bledsoe to? You want to tell him, Skaz? Because you know what? Dude, I'm starting to buy in on this one.
I said it's a little early, but isn't the career of Joe Burrow a little similar to that of Drew Bledsoe?
Oh.
Been to a Super Bowl. Offensive lines destroyed him.
I think that Burrow is a better quarterback than Bledsoe ever was.
I do too. I think Joe Burrow's immensely talented, but I just think the start to their careers are very similar.
Very similar. I don't disagree with that at all. I just think talent-wise...
Who's had more talent? Who had more talent? Like, Bledsoe had...
Burrow is the best college quarterback ever. He had the best
7
college football season ever. Drew Bledsoe couldn't hold his jock in college. Sorry, no, go on this. Drew Bledsoe could not hold Joe Burrow's jock in college football. In a passing game with elite talent, Joe Burrow dominated every single team, had the greatest college football season ever. Drew Bledsoe, as great as he was in college, has no business being in the Joe Burrow conversation in terms of talent in college. It's not fair. It's not fair to Burrow. Not.
See what you started, Skaz?
Not fair. I don't think it's a bad take at all.
No, it's not a bad take.
No, not at all. I just think that Burrow is ultimately more talented than Bledsoe. It doesn't mean that Burrow is going to be anything good, and he was terrible.
I'll just say this. Bledsoe had Ben Coates and Terry Glenn.
Yeah,
and some guys played well. Sean Jefferson, other guys played well.
It's not Jamar Chase and T. Higgins.
It's not, and even Tyler Boyd for that matter. No.
Yeah, but Boyd was a nice safety blanket.
Now but he did have Curtis Martin, a Hall of Fame running back, and guys like that.
Yeah,
and a pretty good defense.
It was a very different type of game. You were running the football a lot more, so the running back was a lot more important. I mean, again, you could say the same thing about the guy who's now in Houston, Joe Mixon, but I mean, whatever. It's not a bad take. I will say Joe Burrow maybe should stop focusing on the fashion and maybe start focusing on football if he ever wants to be considered good. I'm not happy with that guy.
Dan, we have a prop bet. Our intern Joe wrote the article. There's a prop bet on if Joe Burrow will change his hair the next week or so.
I don't know, but I'd say this to Joe Burrow: maybe stop focusing on the fashion and start focusing on football. I mean, again, I'm not exactly a guy who really likes the dudes who focus on off-field stuff, like when you paint your nails and throw for 100 yards in a game and don't have any offensive points. Yeah, not exactly the type of guy I'm looking to back in my situations there.
Well, that team's back at it. There is a Thursday night football game, divisional game, and which teams 0-1 meet each other. Both 0-1. There's some numbers there as well. We'll go around the NFL and we'll see your calls here on 98.5 The Sports Hub. I'm Joe Murray. Dan Lifshatz is here on the Sports Hub.
Don't go anywhere. There's more Joe Murray. More Joe Murray. On the way on 90.
going on, guys? Lifetime listener, first-time caller. Calling in to talk about Robert Kraft. Earlier, you mentioned he shouldn't be in the Hall of Fame.
Nope.
And I believe it was also mentioned.
None of us said that.
No, he belongs in the Hall of Fame.
I'm pretty sure it was questioned whether Robert Kraft should be in the Hall of Fame.
Robert Kraft should be in the Hall of Fame.
We all agree with that.
He's doing a PR stunt to get in, and that if you have to prove you need to be in the Hall of Fame, does that mean you should be in the Hall of Fame? Like, that's what's going on right now.
Isn't getting into the Hall of Fame all about proving getting into the Hall of Fame? Isn't that the whole point?
Yeah, but then why does he need the PR tour?
I mean, I guess he wouldn't technically need the PR tour, but it doesn't hurt, right?
Well,
Bad
Matt,
look, bro.
Tell me what he's done to deserve to get in the Hall of Fame. Bo, I'm not saying he doesn't. I'm just asking you, what do you think he has done to deserve to get in?
Well, for starters, he took the Patriots from a completely poverty franchise and turned them into the greatest franchise.
No, the quarterback did that, and the coach did that. Robert Kraft didn't do any of that.
He did buy the team. I mean,
okay, wait. Who hired the coach?
Yeah, he did. After he made the mistake of letting him go to another team.
He hired Pete
and
Carroll.
ended up yes.
He hired Pete Carroll when he could have had Bill Belichick right there.
Right.
Hold on, doesn't matter. He hired Bill Belichick, and he kept the team together. They won 6 Super Bowls.
Yes, they did. And
Okay.
He did.
He spent no money in the process, and the quarterback was the greatest quarterback of all time, and basically and they had the greatest coach of all time. I mean, so you want to give the owner credit for what the quarterback did on the field and what the coach did off the field. Silly take, bro. Come on.
Well, I don't know if you guys watched that new documentary about the Patriots, but
yeah, the one that he owns the rights to.
The one that he owns the rights to
with creative control. When he lied to you and said he didn't.
Yeah,
he lied to you.
The one that they basically spun the entire story to blame Belichick, the coach you just said you gave him credit for that he hired. I mean, come on, man, get your story straight.
He was staying for Kraft, not for Belichick. He was playing for Kraft, not for Belichick, and that's fact.
Who said that? Brady? You think Brady was playing for Kraft, not for Belichick?
Brady did not like Belichick. That's very clear.
That's just not true. That's not true, man.
No. The quote that I heard in the documentary was, "We played for Tom, but fought for ourselves," or something. What was that? It was something like that.
Yeah,
right?
and by the way, I'm pretty sure Brady has come out and said that he loved being coached by Belichick, and that when he went to Tampa, he missed being coached by Belichick because the coaching was completely different there. Come on, drop.
Why did Tom Brady restructured his contract so he couldn't get an extension because they didn't give it to him? And you know who gets blamed for that, by the way? Bill Belichick.
You know, actually, in reality, was the one who didn't want to give him the extension because of all the other quarterback contracts around the league. It was Robert Kraft.
But we love Tommy. We love Tommy, and Tommy. It's just the numbers, bro.
Kraft could have given it to him the year before he was up for free agency. Didn't give it to him.
Listen, Kraft should go to the Hall of Fame.
Yep,
he's a part
100%.
of 6 championships. He helped with the collective bargaining agreement, and every dollar they're making right now, he was a part of these cable deals. So that alone, he should be in. But as Mike Lombardi says, Jonathan Kraft was selling pizzas for years while Bill Belichick had nothing to do with it, right?
Pretty much.
That's what that documentary was all about.
Which is ridiculous. I mean, again, I'm sorry. The owner of the team very rarely does anything. I just call it how it is. I mean, are you guys all asking for Wick to get in the NBA Hall of Fame?
Wick. Yeah. Wick when his dad owns the damn team.
Right? I mean, come on. It's ridiculous. Come on.
Now is Wick's dad going? We reckon that one up now?
Look, I believe Kraft deserves to get in the Hall of Fame, but am I eager to put him in? No. And it really ultimately...
And it's bad when you need to panhandle it.
Yeah, it's so stupid. Come on, man. It's not a good look.
There's a lot of people on here, but let's get to a couple of games so we can get back on track here.
Let's do the games. And then we can take the anger people.
Jeez. Oh, I love when people do stuff like that. It's I love it. All right, so let's go to a couple of these. Let's do the Thursday night game.
So Thursday.
Buffalo, Miami off a win, field goal late in the game. The Jags blew it. Jags blew the game.
Yeah, I mean it was Peterson. Peterson sucks.
Buffalo, though, this Josh Allen thing's interesting. Obviously, Khalil Shakir scored a touchdown, whatever. It's a home team. Dan, you know how hard it is to play in Miami in week ones or just early in the season at all. But should this line be 2.5?
I mean, so I'll give out a play with this one later. But to me, I mean, this is the ultimate teaser spot. Like, I think Buffalo, the way that they played last week, especially in the second half, it took them a little bit to gel. I thought they looked, extraordinarily good. And Miami, I mean, again, didn't deserve to win. Go back and watch the game. Didn't deserve to win. Peterson goes for like his own 30, whatever it was, or 35 or whatever. If they don't go for it and they basically punt the ball away, Joe, they win the game. It was just horrendous. And not to mention, ETN's going in for a touchdown. They get him the fumble at like the 1 yard line. Miami's nothing special, but tough place to play. Buffalo coming off a comeback victory against a team. They beat them up pretty physically there. Arizona, played them very physical. I think Miami, again, more of a finesse team. Just really not a game I'm really super eager to get involved with either side, to be honest with you.
The only thing I can tell you right now is Tua Tagovailoa has struggled versus the Bills, 2-4-1, but yet he's owned the Patriots and the Jets. The other thing is when these home teams on Thursday night, Dan, when it's 4 points or less, they're 19-28 against the spread. That's going back to 2019.
Yeah, again, I got nothing with this game. To me, I'll basically give it up. But the Bills to 8.5 on a teaser should be like, to me, that's one of the most obvious sides of the week. 2-team 6-point teaser -110. Bills to 8.5. Come on, let's not F around here. This is an easy spot to tease the Buffalo up to 8.5.
Tampa Bay, Detroit. Detroit obviously won in overtime last week. I'm sure there's some sort of angle of a team that wins in overtime and then plays the next week against a team that covered whatever. But Tampa Bay's getting 7.5. To me, that feels like a lot of points for Tampa Bay. They are dealing with some injuries, though, Tampa Bay. I thought Detroit looked good, but when Goff has these interceptions, it really does come back to them. Like, he struggles after he has turnovers here. I want to look into this game a little bit more, but the 7.5 just off the bat, I want to take Tampa, but I feel like in this spot, the fact that it's 7.5 and that it's at home, you have to favor the Lions here.
I want nothing to do with this game. Number moved from open 6.5. I'm moved up to 7.5 today. I mean, there's been resistance at 7.5, so it probably goes back to 7 at some point. But I mean, I want nothing to do with either the side or the total 51 in this game. To me, there's one clear play in this game: Jared Goff interception. I think Goff is
it 0.5 probably, or
yeah, just to throw an interception. Goff has looked really, really poor the last couple, the last game, and honestly, just going back to last year, in the playoffs, he's phenomenal at times, but he's so turnover prone and sometimes just makes silly mistakes. I do think obviously the Tampa Bay defenses will get him. I think again, usually these defensive matchups are a little bit more difficult for guys like Goff. I don't love Detroit this year. I'm not super high on this team. I think they'll be fine. Like, I'm not telling you they're going to be like 5 or 6 win team, but I'm not like Super Bowl or bust for Detroit. I just don't think they're that talented. I think the offense is very good. Obviously, Jameson Williams broke out last week, but just in general, I'm not super high on this team defensively, and I really low on the coach. I think the coach is still a bonehead and still makes absolutely terrible decisions. McVay outcoached that guy up and down all week. I mean, the entire game. He's out without, arguably his number one wide receiver. You can argue number two, whatever you want. He's down to literally his final 5 offensive linemen. So they lost 4 offensive linemen that game, Joe. And they're still made it into overtime against, a pretty heavy favorite in Detroit. The guy's an idiot. I'm sorry. Dan Campbell's a bad coach. I know he had a nice little run last year in the playoffs. He's just too aggressive for my liking. It feels like he's going to make a mistake over and over again. This number is too big for me wanting to back Detroit in this situation.
Okay, let's talk the team that won on Monday Night Football now takes on Minnesota on the road as 6-point favorites. I just wanted to bring up that McCaffrey probably won't play again, and I don't know if that really matters.
It won't.
But the Sam Darnold effect here, he hasn't been great in his career against the spread, but I looked up just to see how he was after a win. 8-1-1 after a win.
Also,
long time ago, obviously, those trends.
Bit of a revenge game.
From last
year. And if you kind of hear about Darnold the way he's talking about the Niners in the offseason, things did not end well there. So I don't know. The way I kind of look at this, Joe, is just pure and simply, like, there's no way that I want to back San Francisco in this spot coming off that win. They were absolutely dominant against the Jets, beat them in every phase of the game, in my opinion, and now they're on the road. Bit of a letdown spot here. I know Minnesota, outplayed New York, but and I am worried about the Addison ankle injury, of course. He doesn't sound like he's going to play this week, so that is a little bit of a concern there, too. Again, just kind of a game I really have no interest in. I do think that, the loss of McCaffrey is in my opinion pretty minimal when you have the zone, basically the zone blocking scheme that Shanahan runs. So it's a pass for me in this game. I would lean Minnesota based upon that. Or if you want to play team total over 19.5, I don't hate that look. I think probably some regression defensively for San Francisco. The New York offense, when we get to that game, we can talk about it. But there are a lot of things that people didn't really know about that, and the information wasn't necessarily public about that.
All right, one more before the break. Jacksonville hosts Cleveland. Deshaun Watson, what the hell is going on? 3 points, though, is the number.
Yeah, this has been everywhere. I mean, open 2.5, went up to 3, got up to 3.5, got up to 4, even hit 4.5 some places, now back down. I don't get it. Like, Watson wasn't the worst quarterback. I know PFF graded him like 16th or whatever, and I'm not the biggest PFF guy, but whatever. I don't know what they're doing here, man. Like, I don't know what they're running. Things just look disheveled there once again. Like, I think they're better off going with Dorian Thompson-Robinson, like, just in the huddle. I think that he's a distraction. Obviously, the stuff about Watson came out this week, Joe. Like, the problem is Jacksonville's coaching, and I've been trying to tell Kendra this forever. They have an idiot who's in charge of their team. Peterson is not a good coach, consistently makes bad decisions, too aggressive at times when he doesn't need to be aggressive, not too conservative at times when he needs to be conservative. And they got to start putting in Tanks Bigsby at the goal line. Like, in the red zone, Travis Etienne should not
He's got like
see
the yips,
the field.
he's got like the yips or something.
Yeah,
there.
should not see the field until we figure this thing out. Bigsby's got to be the guy in the red zone. He's got to be your red zone back. So I lean Jacksonville with the 3. It's 3 minus 105 right now, which is pretty crazy. I certainly lean that way.
All right, Scaz had a nice little write-up this week about some games that we should be looking towards. So we'll do that one when it comes to a bet angle. And we got to react to the Jets because the Patriots will play this Sunday and then the Jets on Thursday. I want to know what the look-ahead line is, Dan, for that one.
Sure.
And they take on the Tennessee Titans this week.
Okay.
We'll get into all that coming up here, but first, let's get to the Sports Hub headlines.
Sports Hub headlines.
All right, Red Sox right now.
Long rush, pressure, hit by Walker, throwing downfield, intercepted Jalen Jackson inside the 35. Jalen goes down to the 40. Pressure, coverage equals win in Chicago, week 1.
First down. We're going to just take the ball. It's 100% true. Will Levis, what were you doing, dude?
Belichick was big on that one, actually, on one of the shows. I can't remember which one it was that he's on now, but he basically said that him and Brady used to always have this thing where it was like, if you don't always have to throw it.
Yeah.
It was, and he, in that case, I don't know what Will Levis was trying to do.
Yeah, I mean, he talked about both. I don't know if you saw it. Someone sent to me. I watched the breakdown of quarterback play of both one. He hates Caleb Williams. Oh, my Lanta, does he think Caleb Williams sucks?
He doesn't.
He thinks Caleb Williams is going to be he called him a bust. I mean, okay. And he did not like Will Levis. He said that he liked Will Levis out of college, but he did not like him in how he's progressed so far. So, I mean, not
But he was good.
Yeah. It had nothing to do with him. His wide receivers, guess what? Pats were worse separation. Where do you think the Jets wide receivers were?
Well, there was a ball I saw.
29.
I saw in Wilson's hands and he dropped it. I mean, I agree with that.
So here's the other thing. Mike Williams was on a snap count. Huge loss for them the way they designed their offense. Huge loss for them, especially because he's one of their main blockers on the outside. And Garrett Wilson pulled his hamstring Thursday in practice. They never put on the injury report. And you saw how ineffective he was in the second half of the game. I think he re-pulled in the first half. And you saw he was just basically useless. They was pretty much Lazard the entire time, which is, I mean, Alan Lazard in 2024 is your first option. That's a problem.
The time of possession is where I would go with the Jets. They had the ball for 21 minutes the whole entire game. Like, how are you going to compete with the 49ers?
I just don't think Rodgers was the problem. I heard a lot of people say, "Oh, he didn't care. He was this." If Felger was talking about it, dude, Rodgers was not the problem. They couldn't stop the run. They couldn't. I mean, if you're just going to get gashed every single play, you can't expect a guy to go out there and put up 30. It's not going to happen.
Right, here's the deal. Road team, 3.5-point favorite on the road. I know Aaron Rodgers' history after a loss. He wins 63% of the time. But, do you just expect them to go on the road and cover 3.5? Back-to-back roadies.
Yeah.
With the Pats on deck.
Yeah.
On a short week.
Yeah.
So you like the Jets? You're ringing it.
Absolutely.
All right.
Are you kidding me? Will Levis versus that defense, and I know that again, that's an elite offensive line. They dominated up front. I don't expect the not so elite offensive line of the Tennessee Titans to do that. And unfortunately, Tennessee is as nice as they are, and I think they're a little bit better than they were last year. Defensively, I think they're good. I don't think they're great. I think Caleb Williams sucks, so we're kind of there's going to be a big drop off there between me and the betting market. But yeah, I think the Jets probably steamroll the Titans this week. I don't think this is going to be ultimately that close. And I think Rodgers cannot be happy with the way they performed. And by the way, if Robert Saleh loses this week, we got to start talking about Robert Saleh getting fired. I mean, the guy's just gotten away with everything forever. He's got to be one of the bottom 3 head coaches in the NFL.
If they lose this week and somehow lose to the Pats, he's done.
Oh, that, by the way, we wanted to look ahead right now.
Oh, yeah, what was that look ahead?
Jets -7, 39.5 is the total.
So if you look at that, the Jets being 3.5 this week's probably the side.
The Patriots are not looking at the Jets are not looking ahead to the freaking Patriots.
I don't mean that.
Yeah.
I mean it as the line 7.
Oh yeah.
So they're going to go from 3.5 on the road, then come home and they're 7.
I bet you if the Jets win and the Patriots lose, that line probably closes around 8.5, 9.
Would the line indicate that they've won and it's 7, or that they've lost and then it's 7?
I think it's you probably got a bit of a downgrade from the Jets loss, definitely a downgrade from the Jets loss, and probably a bit of an upgrade for the Patriots win. So you probably have a little bit of combination there. I'm assuming that was probably 7 or 8 a week ago, and I'm assuming it's probably 7 now. So that's probably how that number was made.
Green Bay Colts favored on the road at Green Bay. Malik Willis will be at quarterback this week.
Most likely. LaFleur said today he has not ruled out Jordan Love, which I think is absurd.
No.
That they're playing with that.
No.
Yeah, I agree. There's no way. There's no way he's going to play that game, man. No way.
3-point underdogs. So the Colts last week covered.
Yep.
Depending on where you got the number, I guess.
No, they covered. They
was
covered
1.5. I thought,
no, it closed 2.5.
Oh, okay.
I think it was up to 3. It almost closed 3. It was 2.5, 3 all week. They covered every number.
I was impressed by the Richardson touchdown to Pierce, but I don't know. This is one that that defense versus if it's not Love, what do you think the line is? If it's Allowance Willis,
well, it was 4.5, 5.
Okay,
so it was Packers. So then people are going to say, "Whoa," and 8-point swing, whatever. Where do you have Malik Willis in terms of quarterback rankings?
Oh my God, probably top 40.
Okay, I don't have him top 80. I think he's a street bum free agent where he is. I think I don't think he should be in the NFL.
You know what's funny? I saw him get some run for the Titans, and then they got traded.
Did you watch him in the preseason?
Yeah, no, I did. Yeah, I saw him throw 1 touchdown. That was it. I didn't watch much.
He was awful. I mean, he was playing against guys who got cut, Joe. He looked
so Green Bay
terrible.
If it's Willis,
I mean, the only reason that I think that Green Bay has a chance is because I think LaFleur is a really good coach and Reed is super explosive. But I can't imagine that Willis as a passer is going to be anything, exceptional. And I mean, Indy was able to move the ball pretty well against that Houston defense. I think they're going to be able to wear down, especially with the power back that they and the power run game that they have. I think they run them down. I know, again, also very square, no doubt about that, but I just don't understand. It's 3 even right now. I don't get it. Like I don't like. Maybe there's something I'm missing on this one. I'm not going to PP it, but like this is Indy or nothing for me. I don't understand how Willis is only a 3-point dog. He is not a good. I don't think he's an NFL quarterback.
Chargers go to Carolina. It was bad for Carolina last week. I took the Raiders. So I lost.
I took Carolina.
And you took Carolina. So
Carolina.
Is Carolina at a
personally,
6.5?
Not publicly, personally.
Worth taking 6.5? I mean, it's Harbaugh's first game on the road. Is there any value in Carolina at 6.5 at home?
So down the 6. It was hit by a sharp group today, and that's why the number moved from 6.5 to 6. There's already some buyback on LA at 6 minus 115. Carolina cannot be as bad as we saw last week. They just ultimately can't be that bad. They kind of figured some things out in the second half. I want to say, because I was high on Carolina coming in the year, I want to say that they're going to be better this week, but I got to see it to believe it. Not that LA was anything special, because they got really pushed around in that first half by the Raiders, too. And again, they dominated in the second half. So, again, they kind of figured things out as well. I can't get to the window on it. I'm going to say I lean Carolina. It's probably a very stupid take by me, but I think Carolina finds a way to get close to winning this game. I just don't. I didn't love what I saw of LA offensively, but man, Carolina was so bad. This is me on my last time probably going out with them unless they change it.
All right, Scott sent this one to me a little while ago, but the Giants and Washington matchup. Divisional rivals, both 0-1 against the spread, 0-1. The underdog in this matchup, Dan, crushes. The Giants right now are plus 1.5. Obviously, not a lot of people feel great about what the Giants are at the moment, but 65% of the time, the underdog wins in this spot. The Giants would be that team this week.
Yeah, I teased New York from 2.5 to 8.5. It's just, again, rookie quarterback, against I think is at least a decent defense in my opinion. Their key is going to be, can Daniel Jones not turn the ball over? Like, that's going to be the reality. Can Daniel Jones kind of play a little bit of ball control? He didn't do well last week. Threw a couple picks, obviously the pick 6. I'm a little worried there. Washington. Go back and look last week. Jaden Daniels, I know he ran the ball very well. He had 1 pass to his wide receiver in the first half. Just didn't utilize anything downfield. And sorry, kid, like you don't have elite talent anymore. This is not going to be like, he didn't utilize Terry McLaurin at all. I'm a little worried about Washington and Jaden Daniels. I did not like the performance. I think he was the highest graded rookie quarterback, but they were all I think it was 25, 24, 25, 26 rated in the NPFF last week. I would have them rated, all 3 of them rated lower, but I did not like what I saw of Jane Daniels. I do think, though, Daniels could be in an Anthony Richardson path, which is just anytime touchdown. By the way, I want to go back to that Colts game. Anthony Richardson, anytime touchdown, plus 140 at FanDuel. I already played it. I'm playing it again. It hit last week. I'm going to play it every single game, Joe. Just going to keep playing it until he is their offense at the goal line. I know Jonathan Taylor's back. I get that. He had a touchdown last week, but they're just going to keep doing the same thing over and over again. There's no reason not to. So I'll take Richardson again, anytime touchdown plus 140.
Raiders go to Baltimore. We've been talking about this for a while, but Lamar Jackson in week 2 goes off because he's not ready because he doesn't play in the preseason in week 1s.
Yep.
So they're 9.5. I think they roll. I looked in this spot, teams that start out 0-1, where they're 7-point favorites or more. The Baltimore's been in the spot before. They won last year by 20 points. I would take Baltimore. Actually, Dan, I'm going to ride it. Give me the Baltimore Ravens minus 9.5.
Not even 9.5, just 9.
Just give me the 9. They win by double digits.
9 even money. I agree with you. Do you guys remember what the Ravens closed against the Texans last year in the playoffs? Anyone? Anyone remember what the number was?
But Lamar's great as an underdog, though.
10. They goes 10 against the Texans in the playoffs. And they're now 9 against that team sucks.
They bad.
Antonio Pierce is a bad head coach.
Might be a bad hire.
Again, blew the game last week again, did not do a good job. And they closed 9, and they're 9 right now. It was 8.5 earlier today. I don't get it. Ultimate tease spot for me, again, Ravens. Ravens is a great teaser spot in my opinion. I'm not going to lay the points, but I have a bunch of teasers with them to me. If you have an 8.5, Bills Ravens would be a fantastic teaser in my opinion. I like the Ravens in the teaser this week.
I want to fade the hell out of the Saints after putting up so many points against a bad team. But Dallas comes home. You know how they are. Generally, when they're at home, they cover. Dak covers. Historically, he's 58% as a favorite in Dallas. How do you fade that?
It's hard, and you have Dallas their defensive line and their linebackers absolutely decimated Cleveland's offensive line last week. You know who has one of the worst offensive lines in the league, bottom 5? New Orleans. So if that was what Dallas was able to do to Cleveland and made them look horrible, what are they going to do to the Saints, who are on the road this time? Again, to me, don't want to lay the points. Teaser spot. Give me Dallas to a pick. Basically Dallas to a pick, man, minus a half, whatever. I think that's the way to play this one. Nothing on the side, nothing on the total either for me, but I again lean Dallas here on the teaser spot.
I'm going to give you another to ring the bell here. Give me Cincinnati plus 5.5 at Kansas City. People are going to overreact. This is more of an overreaction. I don't think Cincinnati is what I thought they were, but give me the 5.5 against the Chiefs. In this one, I just feel like it would be an overreaction. Plus the numbers of 5, and I generally fade teams. So
they've also owned Andy Reid in Kansas City, and I mean owned them the last few years. I agree. I think this is a bit of an overreaction. I am concerned again, and it does not sound like T. Higgins is trending the play. This was 6, now 5, 5.5, 4.5. Some places you're kind of seeing it all over the map right now. I think it was a clear look ahead spot last week for Cincinnati. I know people don't think week 1 can be a look ahead. It can be absolutely a look ahead, and I think that was a part of the handicap, which is why I like the Patriots. And we talked about it. I took the Patriots plus 9 last week. I think Cincinnati, to me, probably the spot here, but really don't want anything to do with them, until I see Higgins kind of return the form and Burrow maybe can stop dyeing his hair and start playing some football because, I don't really care what clothes you wear, dude, but maybe you should start playing some football because he looked like ass last week, and I mean that in the most meanest and derogatory of ways. He was terrible. That's the worst I've ever seen him play, ever.
Couple others here. Divisional matchup. Arizona's a favorite over the Rams. Do you know what Kyler Murray's record is against the Rams?
It's like what, 1-7?
7-1.
Okay.
And every loss is 8 points or more, and they're 1-point underdogs.
So Nakua's out. They don't have their left tackle playing. The right tackle suspended. They have another guard out. Like they're basically down on the offensive line here. And they're just in a tough spot. To me, this was 1.5. I teased the Rams up to 7.5. I thought that was again the way to play. I think it's teaser week 2. Nothing for me in this game. I did see Murray pop up with the injury today, the knee injury, Joe. Rumor on the street right now in the gambling community is that injury is a lot worse than leading on. Maybe Kyler Murray under rush yards might be a decent look in this one.
All right, and then Pittsburgh at Denver. Pittsburgh's now 3-point favorites. Still don't know who their quarterback is.
My favorite play of the week. I gave it out on Monday with CT. It's Denver. Again, Bo Nix on the road against elite defense. He's going to look terrible. We talked about it last week. I said he's going to be terrible. He's going to look terrible. The team's going to get blown out. I love Denver this week. They win this game easily. This is going to be go watch the Steelers Falcons game, Joe. Kirk Cousins can't move. He cannot move. His Achilles is a disaster still. That right leg is a mess. Can't move, can't plant. Steelers are going to, or in my opinion, are going to struggle mightily this week with a quarterback who can move and actually a semblance of an offense and a good defense, not a bottom 10 defense. I think Pittsburgh's in a war for a world of trouble this week. I love Denver. 2.5, 3, 3.5. I played all of them. I love it. Give me the Broncos, Bills teaser. That's my PP teaser this week. The Broncos up to 8.5. Give me the Bills up to 8.5 teaser.
Houston's -6 versus Chicago. Caleb Williams goes on the road in his first game here. 6-point dog. I can't remember the last time Chicago started 2-0.
So I graded Caleb Williams last week as the second worst quarterback in the league. I think he was just atrocious. They had no offensive ability, couldn't move the ball, overthrowing wide receivers, couldn't make any plays, didn't look like he knew how to do the playbook. And by the way, what was my big concern about Caleb? He's going to roll in the pocket. He's going to think he can make plays. Took like 3 major sacks that way because he just thinks he's not playing college kids anymore. You can't do that anymore, Caleb Williams. So. Nothing for me in this game, but because first round number 1 overall picks, Joe, tend to get some extra flags in primetime football in the first primetime game, which is an angle for me. So I want nothing in this game. I tease the Texans a little bit, but nothing for me.
Last but not least, Philly, some time to rest. 6.5-point favorites versus Atlanta, who lost last week. You just mentioned Cousins, and I just looked it up. 18-2 is Jalen Hurts' record as a favorite at home.
Yeah, I mean, first off, they're better at home. I thought they were much better last week in the second half, obviously. But until I can see Kirk Cousins move, it doesn't matter. They have one of the best defensive lines in football. They need to be aggressive. They're gonna have to find a way to do it, Joe. Their usual defensive style is not aggressive, but if they're aggressive versus Atlanta, this should be a slaughter, in my opinion. Atlanta looks like an absolute disaster. They might be a 4 or 5 win team this year. They're a mess. I don't know if they even get to 6. They would not be a bowl team in college football the way that Kirk Cousins looks. It was bad. I would definitely lean Philadelphia. Again, another teaser spot if you like it. Philly down the 6, or again you can play the money line parlay at -240 there, but they're -290, so that's why I said tease.
All right, there we are around the NFL. We'll take a quick break. We'll get you the headline, and then we got in or out coming up next. But this hour of the sports has been brought to you by Valvoline. It's an oil change. Enjoy quick and convenient vehicle maintenance this month. Visit NewEnglandOilChange.com for 15% off your next drive-through oil change at Valvoline. It's an oil change now, open in Weymouth, Kenton, Bedford, and Natick. You want to hang out, Dan? We'll do a little in or out. We'll do that next here on the Sports Hub.
What's it gonna be, McFly? Are you in or out?
More Joe Murray coming up on the Sports Hub.
Sox right now, 2-1 lead, 8th inning. Nick Pivetta went 6, had 9 strikeouts. Let's see if Kenley Jansen comes in. If he does at all, Cedon Raphael and RBI, the go-ahead RBI in this one. The Patriots getting ready for Sunday. City So, the only one on the list. We got In or Out coming up next, and headlines are brought to you by South Shore Bank. Beatles Bank, sharing your success and growing your business is what's above and beyond banking is all about. Visit SouthShoreBank.com. Member FDIC, member DIF, equal housing lender. I'm Joe Murray. Next update soon.
Listen to it, laugh at it, get mad at it, agree with it, argue about it. It is Boston Sports. Boston Sports. And it is all we do. 98.5, the Sports Hub.
Are you in or out? Gotta know without a doubt. I'm the one you need for a dirty deed. I'm the best. Success is guaranteed.
Joe, I am very used to running late.
We did get it all in within an hour, though.
Yeah, that was mean.
We did get it all in.
We did.
Hey, we got it all in. That's all that matters.
And the Red Sox blew the lead. 2-2 right now.
Shocker.
What a shock.
All right, what do we got tonight, Skaz?
All right, we'll start with this one tonight. A new film from Judd Apatow was announced today. Judd Apatow is going to direct Cola Wars with Steven Spielberg set to produce. The film follows Pepsi's attempt to challenge Coca-Cola's century-long reign as the world's top cola. Gentlemen, are we in or out on Cola Wars?
In.
I'm in on watching it. It sounds interesting. I mean, I'm sure it'll be a bunch of BS, but like, hey, I'm down. We need some new stuff. Like, there's nothing new. Give it to me. I'll take some Cola Wars stuff.
Give me Cola Wars. But what could Pepsi do? Like Coca-Cola, if you like, I got a McDonald's, for example. It's just a bag of syrup that goes in the CO2 and makes it beautiful. What's Pepsi got? Like Pepsi does have Mountain Dew and some other things, and I believe my favorite, Celsius. I believe they own them and then sold them. But besides that, I'm Coke product over Pepsi product all day.
I'm a water guy now.
So me too. I don't drink soda anymore.
Yeah, I'm a water guy, so I'm out. But when I was a soda guy, I was a Pepsi guy, 100%.
Really, can or bottle or
Coca-Cola just made me thirsty. It would dehydrate me, and Pepsi didn't do that, and so it was like a real easy decision. Now, when you got like the Coke Vanilla, that was a winner, and like then the Pepsi Blue that was the old school, the Pepsi Blue. That was like my favorite thing in the world. But yeah, Pepsi guy, definitely Pepsi.
I have to ask when I go out. I have to be like, do you guys have Coke or Pepsi product?
You do?
Yeah, I've now, Dan, I'm a Arnold Palmer all the time now.
Okay.
Give me an unsweetened iced tea with a little bit of lemonade. Mm-hmm. But it does matter what product it is, though. I can taste the difference.
Fair enough. I'm a pure water guy. I'm a freaking loser now. I have no fun. I'm no fun anywhere now.
What other war could they have besides soda?
Like the hamburger wars, I guess.
You could do that, like fast food wars.
We've seen a lot of that, though. It's kind of played out a little bit,
Yeah. Cola, though, in.
Yeah, definitely.
All right, well, Dan did mention that we're not getting a lot of new things lately, and we got news of another remake that's happening. Michael B. Jordan will star in and direct a new Thomas Crown Affair movie for Amazon. I believe this was a Pierce Brosnan film back in the day. The story follows a rich playboy who enjoys stealing art for a hobby, but meets his match in an insurance investigator, and they quickly fall for each other. Are we in or out on a new version of the Thomas Crown Affair?
I've seen this. So he was bored, millionaire, wanted to steal some sort of painting. Right? Am I wrong? Am I going down the right road?
Yeah, I think American Dad made fun of this, or Family Guy, or one of those shows had made fun of this this movie as well. Yeah,
I'm fine, but why are we forcing Michael B. Jordan on us? Like, after Creed, what can that guy do?
He's not. I mean, he's okay.
I did like in Space Jam when they thought Michael Jordan was really showing up, and then it was him, Michael B. Jordan.
Fair enough.
That was funny. But what does he do for us?
I'll tell you this. I'm out. I'm not watching this crap.
You know what? I'm out.
It's college football season, man. I got to watch the games. There's NFL on. Like, if I'm going to waste my time, I want to watch a good show. Like, there's a couple good shows on Netflix right now and whatever.
Ooh, did you see The Sopranos yet, the new one?
I've not seen it.
Me either.
No.
We talk about it every night. We just haven't seen it yet.
Really? Okay. That's surprising because you're such a Sopranos
I know.
guy.
Well, Skaz is watching it now.
Well, by the way, Joe made me watch Sopranos too. I had never seen it. Joe made me watch it too.
What'd you think?
It was phenomenal. I watched it like a couple years ago.
But I mean, it's one of the greatest sitcom, or
absolutely phenomenal
shows ever.
It's great. Season 3 is not as good as the first two, at least to the points I'm at right now. It
gets better again.
It's very good.
Listen,
it's a little slow in between there.
The Sopranos stretch things out to make more money.
They got it, yeah. I mean, honestly, I felt they could have gone like another season or so at least, but it was phenomenal.
We're out on the movie.
Yeah, out on that. I'm not watching that crap.
All right, gentlemen. Good morning, football. I believe Kyle Brandt made some waves earlier today with a take that I'd love to get your thoughts if you're in or out on. Kyle Brandt said he believes Mike Evans is the greatest Buccaneer of all time. In or out?
I'm out. Warren Sapp, Derek Brooks, Rondé Barber, all Hall of Famers.
All stop.
Well, Warwick Dunn was probably Wallstott was a great fullback.
Hey, he was like the epitome of
Thunder,
the Bucks.
him
of the Bucks
and Warwick Dunn.
Yeah, he was like the epitome of like that Super Bowl team. I don't know. I kind of group him in with that crew. Lynch,
I just go Warren
John
Sapp.
Lynch. I mean,
well, yeah, and they're all Hall of Famers. So it's like, is Mike Evans gonna? I don't want to. I don't.
Mike Evans is a Hall of Famer.
No, Mike Evans probably will have numbers. He's won a Super Bowl.
Mike Evans is definitely not a Hall of Famer for me.
But he's not done yet.
When
He's
is
had
Mike
1,000 yards every year he's been in the league? Right?
Has Mike Evans ever been a top 10 wide receiver in your mind? Do you ever go, oh no, we're facing Mike Evans tomorrow?
This is what I do. I go to Football Reference.
I think he's a Hall of Famer.
I mean, I guess I have like higher standards for like my Hall of Famers. For the Football Hall of Fame, he probably is, but like, he's not a guy who struck fear into my heart. Like, oh no, we're facing Mike Evans. Like before Tom Brady, Mike Evans kind of sucked. Just call it how it is. Like he was just there. He was just a guy because he played with only mediocre quarterbacks. So no, Mike Evans is not even. Wouldn't even have Mike Evans as a top 5 Buccaneer. No, I'm out. Terrible take, Kyle Brandt. Be better.
His Hall of Fame monitor is very good.
Yeah, I mean that makes sense.
He's probably on his way
because it's the NFL Hall of Fame. Everyone except for Robert Kraft gets in.
Is he the best receiver that Brady has played with? Because he only had Moss. Yeah, but he had Moss for 1 year.
Okay, but he had him for 2 years, 3 years.
He had Mike Evans for 3.
3 years. Yeah, 3 years.
Is he the best receiver Brady ever had?
Well, Welker was considerably better than him.
Thank you.
Considerably. Welker.
I don't know if you know this, Dan, but I'm a big Wes Welker to the Hall of Fame guy.
Wes Welker invented the slot wide receiver position, basically turned it into what the game is today. Wes Welker is a significantly better player than Mike Evans. Mike Evans is a lank. Again, I like Mike Evans. I'm not trying to disparage the guy. I'm really not. But there's no way. If you're asking me in a big drive, and I know Welker is not exactly known for the big drive, by the way. I get that part. But who I want, give me Welker every effing time. That guy was money when you needed a first down. Evans has had a lot of issues there. I'm out on Evans. I don't even think
he's ranked 53rd amongst wide receivers all time.
Okay, I mean, okay.
He's
probably a Hall of Famer.
That's what I mean. He's still going to rise, I think.
Okay, he's probably a Hall of Famer.
But is he the best Buck of all time?
No. Warren Sapp is
Derek Brooks.
I'd go Sapp, Brooks, Barber because they're all in.
Lynch.
And George Lynch was a hell of a player.
John Lynch.
Yeah.
He was mainly a Denver guy. I get it, but
he won the Cover 2 championship.
Yep. I don't know.
This is horrific take someone is saying. Okay, well, we'll just... You know what we're going to do tomorrow night, Dan?
I'm sorry. If you think Mike Evans... How about this? How much... Simple point. I'll go... I can do this and I'll look back. How much do you think Mike Evans has ever been worth to a spread? Either one of you. What is the peak value Mike Evans has been worth to a spread?
1 or 1.5.
Under 1. I guarantee you.
I was going to say
never been a point.
Or 1. Yeah.
I don't know.
Half a point maximum. Mike Evans is a maximum half a point guy.
Well, Dan, you could write 300 words for us.
Wes Welker, by the way, in 2007 was worth 1.5 points. Dan, the end.
All right. Well, it wouldn't be a
the end. The end. Your take sucks. There you go. The end.
It wouldn't be a Joe show in or out if we didn't have a little bit of food involved. One Texas Roadhouse has made some waves on Twitter today. They announced that their honey cinnamon whipped buttery spread will now be available in stores.
Oh, baby.
Okay, so I'm gonna ruin everyone's day here. Ready? I found out that this stuff is not really butter.
I don't care.
I know, I know, but I'm trying to be healthy, so I can't eat it.
Yes.
But it is, yeah.
Okay.
If you don't, if you're not trying to be like me, it is I mean, I could bathe in it.
I'm in.
I'd be in on it.
If I bought it from a fridge, right? Like I got it like at the cold, like the whatever department.
Yep.
I would just leave it out on my like a cooking board, and I'd wait for it to get really soft.
So here's my question: how do you feel about Chick-fil-A sauce? Because I almost feel like this is kind of similar.
I do like it, but okay. So what I was about to say about that butter, I don't use a knife. I stick the roll right in that little ramekin that they give you.
Of course you do.
Just give me the butter in a ramekin, no knife, and I will dip it. I was just swapped. Don't even give me the knife. Just dip it, baby.
I love that idea. 100%. I'm definitely a knife guy, but that's not a bad idea. I just kind of liken it to like the Chick-fil-A sauce. You know what I mean? Because like when Chick-fil-A sauce, everyone's like, oh, they're coming out with Chick-fil-A sauce. I got it, and it was like, okay, it's okay. It's not as good when I'm at Chick-fil-A. I don't know. I'm sure a lot of people disagree with that take, which is totally fair. I just kind of think it would be kind of the same ilk.
Oh, that butter.
It's so because they know how to prep it. That's the difference. Like, I don't know how to prep it. I think that's the big thing.
Just don't even need the knife, man.
You have like a toaster oven?
I have a toaster oven and an air fryer.
I don't use the air fryer anymore, but like just a toaster. It's just
I have a toaster oven.
Just like the toaster oven.
Yeah.
I think that would be the way to prep that butter, right?
Do you know what
just
I would
pop it in there?
You know what I'd love to do with that? Make my own French toast out of that butter.
Oh, okay. Now there you go. Now that's an idea. That's an idea. You know what you could really do with it? Here we go. Make your own pancakes with it.
Oh,
yeah.
It's a jogasm. Instead of LOL,
I didn't have dinner. I'm so freaking hungry.
Instead of LOL on this show, we do MOL, which is moan out loud.
Fair enough. Yeah, I know.
So it happens.
Appreciate that.
Anymore. By the way, how much is that thing? You could raise the price on that. We're buying it.
Can we get like a tub sent here?
Yes, I want the Betty Crocker tub. No knife.
Zoe and Joe will go through it. Just call it Zoe and Joe's tub, and it'll go.
Just give me my own tub. I'll just stick my finger in it if you want me to, and then I'll lick it. All right, what do we have? Any more? Don't drop that one.
All right, we're gonna wrap up in or out right there. I think. Go out on a high note.
Oh, that butter is so good.
Guys, you got to reach out to this company, Zoe and Joe's Tubs. Just a podcast video of them eating that butter with whatever is in for the lunch.
You could put whatever you wanted in front of me, and I would dip it.
Can you imagine some like legitimately good barbecue with that? I even think like good barbecue would be everything would be.
A little bit of cornbread in there.
I hate that it's not real butter, man. I hate that it's not real butter. Oh.
Is that it? This guy's tapped out. He tapped out.
I think he's cutting sound.
Dan,
it's a lot of drops to keep up with from that segment.
Yeah. No answers. Don't answer this one. But tomorrow night we're going to do best Seattle Seahawk of all time.
Okay. I have an idea of who I think it would be immediately.
Okay. Dan Lifshatz, everybody. Check him out over under podcast. He'll be on this Saturday with Kendra Middleton as well. And you can follow our college football podcast that we did, by the way, BC this week.
Out. I like Missouri. I like Missouri.
Brady Cook, baby.
Yeah, he's been terrible, too. Only one touchdown on the year. His coach basically said today, high-flying Cook is back. By the way, can I give you something, Joe?
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
I hear the Notre Dame quarterback's out this week.
He's been a disappointment. 10-point favorite. What will that drop? What's he worth? Riley Leonard for a line.
I would look at team total play. Team total under. Just saying. I know everyone's got to hit the brakes.
It's 10 now, and I like it.
I would put it under 20.5 team total. It's, I think, a better look. They can't move the ball. And by the way, it's not going to be like the good freshman kid who's playing. They're going to use the bad backup kid.
Oh, the bad backup?
The bad
Who can manage everything?
He can't do anything. He's bad. If they score 20, I'd be surprised.
All right. He's Dan Lifshatz, everybody. Our NFL week. What the hell week are we in? Two. And that butter from Texas Roadhouse.
I can't wait to go have dinner.
Oh, baby. All right. We're on May Watch. We'll do a little Maye watch coming up next here on the Sports Hub. I'll just stick my finger in it if you want me to.
Don't go anywhere. There's more Joe Murray. On the way.
Oh, that butter. That's going to be illegal. That butter is going to be illegal, Skaz. Who knows what who knows what I'm going to put that on? Anyways, people have been holding. Let's talk to them. My man Justin and Lynn. What's up, Justin?
Hey, Joe. I think the Patriots are in a tough spot this week against Canada with their defense with mobile quarterbacks.
Yeah, that's a good point, Justin. Let's think of some others that they've struggled against. Lamar Jackson for sure, right? They did beat Josh Allen last year, though.
Yeah, but I just think certain ones they have a lot of trouble with.
No, you're right, dude. They have had some issues with mobile quarterbacks. And really what it is they play such good defense and they're disciplined that when they start running around, they get undisciplined.
Yes, I agree with you, Joe.
That's cool, man. What's on tap? What do you got in Lynn? What have you been doing?
I'm back at Lynn TV.
Yeah.
I'm doing my sports show down there. I did one last night. I'd like to have you on at some point.
You know what? I would like to do that. I've been to Lynn TV. It's a beautiful place, and would love to hang out with you, Justin.
Thank you. You're more than welcome.
What do we
to come
bring?
down.
What do we bring? Do we bring Fosse's or Monty's?
I like Fosse's, Joe.
Me too, man.
It's pretty good.
You know why? Because they put some sugar or something in that sauce, man. You know?
Yeah. No, it's good. It's good.
It's very good.
Absolutely.
All right, Justin. You let me know. I'll come by.
Yeah. Thanks, Joe.
You got it, buddy. Take care. Mike, he's in Leominster. What's up, Mike?
Hey, how you doing?
How you doing?
Oh, I'm great. I used to work at Sterling Mega Maze, and they do basically a Wachusett Fest. So it's right up your alley with beer and pulled pork and mac and cheese.
So it's is it a beer to drink, or is it all in one, like beer, pulled pork?
No. So the beer is whatever you choose. It's like Oktoberfest, like I said. But they have pulled pork distributors and vendors there, and they're doing mac and cheese and everything else.
What kind of mac and cheese is it? What kind of noodle are we talking?
Probably elbow. I mean, that's your favorite, right? You don't want like penne in there.
Yeah, if I'm doing mac and cheese, I don't want a penne.
Or spaghetti?
I don't want a spaghetti either if I'm doing a...
So what are you talking about? Elbow?
Well, if we're doing... Yeah, I would say an elbow or just a flat out, like a noodle. Like just a small macaroni.
Or even the wheel.
Yeah, you know what I had recently?
Throw that in for the kids.
Yeah, I went to Saratoga, right? And I got
Racetrack?
No, where did I go? I can't remember the name. No, you know what? It might have been. But I got a bolognese, right? But it looked like gnocchi, but it wasn't. It was absolutely outstanding, and I wish I could have that again. Put a little pulled pork in that. What do you think? Thanks, buddy. What's Joe the intern eating back there? Look at that. What's it smell? What do you smell? Without looking, Skaz, what's it smell like?
I don't smell anything.
No, I like the smell before I eat.
Just looks like a rice bowl or something.
Got a rice bowl in there? Is it like a stir fry? Or is it like a rice and chicken?
Rice and chicken.
Yeah. The intern has got this Tupperware bowl in front of me, and he's eating it. So now that made obviously. What are you eating, Skaz?
Nah, just a Zin, Joe. Not eating anything. just put a Zin in.
That's to give you that buzz for the next hour. All right, I promised May watch, but you know what happened? We got calls. So we'll do the headlines. What's going on in this Red Sox game? We'll tell you next, right now in headlines.
Sports Hub headlines.
It's Joe Mullet on the Sports Hub.
Back here at 98.5 The Sports Hub. All right, you can let this run for a little bit here, Scats. It's officially Maye watch. He'll be ready, baby. With that earpiece in his ear.
This is giving me some ideas for maybe a Joey Mayer's fall head.
Drake Maye is always here. He's right there on that sideline. It's Maye watch. And our friend of the show here, caller, Benny from Oxford, emailed me. What's up, Joe? It's Benny from Oxford. I rewatched the game, and I have plenty of camera angles and views that I took some notes. On the first series, no helmet on, wearing an earpiece, standing within a few feet from Alex Van Pelt. And after the third down, you can see Maye near AVP and JB going over the plays before Maye steps aside to talk to another coach. Maye watch.
I love Benny, and I appreciate him doing this, but this is just telling me how bad Benny misses the Celtics. Because Benny's one of our hardcore Celtics guys.
Series 2, no helmet, wearing an earpiece, standing near Alex Van Pelt. After Hooper converted the first down, you can see Maye standing a little further back, talking to Jaheim Bell after Ramondre Stevenson touchdown. But when they showed Alex Van Pelt, the camera wasn't wide enough to see if Maye was nearby. Maye watch. Series 3, no helmet, wearing an earpiece, standing near Alex Van Pelt. Only 3 plays, though. Couldn't see Maye. Series 4, no helmet, wearing an earpiece, standing with Polk near Alex Van Pelt. But you never see him near Van Pelt again. And before the field goal attempt, Maye walks by with the coaching staff. Maye watch. Series 6. After the fumble recovery, it's hard to see where Drake Maye is. And during Cincy's next series after the field goal, can't see Drake Maye due to the camera angle. But you can see Maye on the bench talking to Pop Douglas and Jacoby Brissett. Okay. The 7th series after a 4th down stop. No helmet again. Earpiece standing a few feet from Van Pelt. Maye can briefly be seen with the defensive coordinator next to Jacoby Brissett and Alex Van Pelt. 8th series, no helmet, wearing an earpiece, standing a few feet from Van Pelt. Even further away from Van Pelt. Very strange, he writes. Series 9, no sign of Van Pelt anywhere. 10 yards away from Maye. 10 yards away from Van Pelt. Holding jersey above his chest with earpiece still in place. Not a good camera angle. And on the final series, there was no sign of Drake Maye near Alex Van Pelt at all. It was the first time I noticed Maye near offensive guys. The only time he saw it was during the first kneel down. Maye watch. He'll be ready. Oh, Pam Anderson, Carmen Electra, the Hoff. Maye watch. One more time, everybody. He'll be ready whenever you need him. Drake Maye. May watch. We'll do May watch next week too, Skaz. I'll be ready. May watch. I need someone to make Drake Maye as Hasselhoff. May watch. All right, we got the music's coming up next here on the Sports Hub.
More Joe Murray coming up on the Sports Hub.
want a random take? Murray's got all sorts on stuff in the world unrelated to sports. So sit back, relax, and get your mind in the game and listen to the words of a grown man complaining.
All right, Murray's Musings, 98.5, the Sports Hub. It is September 11th, and obviously we tell you the date, and how could you forget what happened so many years ago? So I'm sure a lot of people are thinking of loved ones or things that happened on this date many years ago and the tragedy that happened. So a lot of those people are in our thoughts and prayers, of course. And, I think we're all linked to something or somebody from that day. I told you I grew up on the Hyde Park-Rosendale line, and the Bavis brothers, one of the Bavis brothers was a part of that, passed away that weekend or on that day. And, I was a childhood kid. They were older than me, hockey players, stars at BU. Very sad day, and at least that was something that was close to me when it comes to this date on September 11th. But Mark Bavis, he was also with Ace Bailey, if you remember. It was Mark's first day of work as a scout, and Ace said, why don't we go together for the Kings? And the Kings have honored them tremendously over the years.
Yes, Ace Bailey, I believe the first number retired in the history of North American sports, Ace Bailey. And the Kings mascot, the lion they have, is named Bailey after Ace Bailey.
Yeah, literally, guys, we were like neighborhood kids, so we all played basketball or played hockey, and these dudes were dominating us. They were older than me, but these imagine these dudes just dominating us and then being both of them being stars in college. So it's just kind of funny. But yeah, that day I heard that news and I went, man, I grew up with that dude. So it was sad. But I got one other story about September 11th, and I don't want to it was a tragedy, and we're just looking back on it because it's so memorable. But guys, I was going to college that day. I was going to Mass Bay Community College. It was a Tuesday. I was on my way in. I just happened to be listening to Howard Stern. And obviously there was, there's something going on in New York, some sort of smoke, and nobody got word about it. Howard was onto it real quick. Knew who did it right away. It was so I walked in, I went into class, and everyone's they're like, go home. Dude, trying to get out of the campus was scary. You couldn't get through a cell phone at the time. It was a wild day, right? Now, I'm 42, so as we get, how many things can we look back on besides and I'm not comparing anything, but there's been some things you just remember over the last 25 years or so, and how do you nobody will forget this. Nobody will ever forget this date. So just wanted to mention it. And by the way, I thought Howard Stern was absolutely unbelievable that he turned off his shock jock and became a news reporter, and it was absolutely outstanding. Well, anyways, all right. Now that we got the sad stuff over with, I wanted to just share this story because this one pissed me off. So I've been a part of some things here at 98.5 The Sports Hub. Every year, the last couple of years, Miller Lite and 98.5 The Sports Hub and the Celtics do a half-court shot opportunity. So they have these Pop-A-Shot events, and then the winner will be at Hurricanes. They'll literally bring them in, and at halftime, they'll have a chance at a half-court shot to win $50,000. Okay? So, Purdue University. May I just read you the headline here? A Purdue University student won a car in a halftime kicking competition, and the car dealership is trying to take it away. So again, guys, if you miss a half-court shot, you don't get the car, right? You got to run a 40-yard dash in under 5, you don't win a car. You make these shots, whatever, you don't win. But a Purdue student completed the halftime challenge. He kicked 3 field goals in under 30 seconds to win a 2-year lease on a car. I don't know what kind of car it was. But now they're trying to say that he didn't do it in time. And who got a hold of this one? The boys at Barstool. They have a timer and everything. And then the Bob Rohrman dealership doubling down. Obviously, this is a great advertising opportunity, right? One participant came so close to victory, finishing 0.07 seconds past the timer. If only those extra milliseconds had fallen in his favor, he would have snagged a 2-year complimentary lease from Rohrman Auto Group. Check out the video below for the nail biter. Automatically say it's a 2-year. Okay, you know that like you could just get a lease from somebody and they'll pay the bill and you just drive the car and you give it back in 2 years. So let's just say the lease payment's $500. That means it's a nice brand new car. A 2-year lease over 24 months is going to cost a dealership $12,000 to $15,000. What are they holding out for? Are they really not doing this over 12 to 15? A car dealership, $12,000 to $15,000 should not be a lot of money. You're blowing tons of, dude. You're charging for diagnostics just to look at problems. I think you can afford the $12,000 to $15,000. This is bunk. Bush League. You did this for advertising's sake, and then you pull it away from the kid. Out. Out. And everyone should bury this dealer for doing it. Give the kid the car. This would bother. Guys, this would happen to you. This is something that would happen to you.
Joe, knock on wood. My car luck has turned.
No.
Turned
I don't mean that. You would win the competition, and then they'd go to the clock. I mean, I mean, you were 0.7 seconds. This would something that would happen to you. And then we'd have to call the guys at Barstool and be like, they're screwing Skaz. So if anybody wants to give Skaz a 2-year lease, we'll hook it up. Come on now. Dude, okay, advertisements are worth campaigns are $50,000 to start. If you're going to do the monthly, all right? This is Bush League. Absolutely Bush League from this car dealership. He also hit 20 and 30 and 40-yard field goals.
Patriots could have used him last year. Well, actually, maybe not because Chad Ryland helped them get Drake Maye, but...
I've almost said no bleep 5 times tonight on the air. I almost just did it there when you're like, Patriots could have used him. I almost just went no bleep. Out on this car dealership, it's disgusting. Can anything be sacred in this world? He kicked 3 field goals in under whatever seconds. Give him his car. You don't see the guys at Price is Right when they win a car? You're either closest without going over or not. It's real defined. He made 3 field goals. Half-court shots were Dave Portnoy air balls. Remember the guy who tore his ACL on the half-court shot? I don't remember that one. Once in high school, I had a chance to take a half-court shot in front of everybody.
How'd it go?
Front rimmed.
Yeah, you can live with that.
You know what I did? I didn't push it. I gave it the jump shot.
I always think of the guy that buried one in Miami and then LeBron tackled him.
Oh,
that one was great.
Out to us. We have a free 2-year lease just for you. So now Curry Auto Center. Yeah! This is smart. Oh! This is like Herb Chambers and Brian Kelly going at it. Or Ernie Bach. Well, Bach's not doing it anymore. Oh, yeah! If we're just keeping it local right now, Uncle Herb did this? Who's calling in and helping out? Is our buddies at Bernardi doing it? Who's getting in on the... Oh, now we got ourselves a situation. Curry Auto Center says, come on, Zach. This is the easiest $15,000 of your lifetime to give up. Kid gets a brand new car. He's going to... I will hit the half car. I kick the field goals. He's going to tell everybody. You know what? Wallpaper his car. Paper his car. I won this for free. And I would drive everywhere with that. Nope. Curry Auto Center. They want that too. They said, they're not going to do it? We'll do it for you. That's America. You got anything on this one, Skaz? Because I feel this one really when I heard this one, I go, you cheap guys.
No, I think you're right. That's a great move by them. Like whoever their biggest competitor is, to just be like, we'll do it. We'll take all the free publicity, the good word, people coming to our side if we come through and pull this off. So yeah, I mean, seems like a pretty easy move for their biggest competitor there.
Einbein in the chat says that he could barely kick it 4 yards. But you know what, Einbein? Chad Ryland versus the kid from Purdue who wins. Oh, man. See, intern Joe, this is something that you could put on the internet. Haven't really looked at a September 11th birthday, so let's
I got one for you, Joe.
Okay.
The Bear. It is the Bear.
Bear Bryant?
Paul Bear Bryant. Was born on this day. Can you guess, Joe?
1905.
1913.
Damn.
The Bear.
Who's a lonesome bear? Mildred.
Another legendary coach, Tom Landry, born on this day.
Wow, the Bear and Landry? Actor Scott Patterson, 66 years old today. Virginia Madsen, 63 years old today. Sideways, you ever see that?
No.
Harry Connick Jr., we haven't seen Sideways.
Have not.
Oh, you got to watch that.
I don't even know what it is.
Oh, Paul Giamatti.
Big Paul Giamatti guy.
Yeah, this one's good. Oh, no. This one's good. Harry Connick Jr. is 57. Taraji Henson's 54. Ludacris.
Chris Bridges.
47 years old today. Elizabeth Henstridge, 37. Brock Purdy.
Bill Belichick's favorite defensive player's birthday today.
LT?
Ed Reed's birthday. Well, I guess more recently, I should say. It is Ed Reed's birthday today.
Good for it.
Also, former Red Sox and New York Yankee Jacoby Ellsbury's birthday. Intern Joe was telling me.
That's right. Zay Flowers today.
And did you say Harry Connick Jr.?
I did. See if there's anything else that we could muster up in a minute or so here. Oh, remember the bar that ended up having to pay the tab because the pass in a tub. Whipped buttery spread. There's like when the person, whoever took the photo, there's like 70 of them in a bin. You know when you're going down like the milk section or the dairy section, and then in between, like, everything's against the wall, but then they have those rows? That's where these are found. That's where I get like the 2 for 10 Uno's pizzas. You know? What's your favorite frozen pizza, Skess? Because I've been a DiGiorno guy for a very long time. And when I was a kid, it was a Mama Celeste.
Yeah, when I was younger, Celeste was big. Elio's was
Elio's.
big.
See, I call it Elio's. Do you?
Yeah, Elio's.
Everyone calls it Elio's.
Out
Me
on
too.
that.
Out.
I've unfortunately become lactose intolerant in my older years. But yeah, DiGiorno was big. I'm trying to think. There was another one too that I thought was pretty good, but it wasn't. I don't know, like the Red Baron. I can't remember.
Oh yeah,
there's a couple different ones. But yeah, I haven't had a cheese pizza. And I sneak one in every once in a while. But yeah, it's got to be careful.
So you'll eat pizza. You just.
Yeah, I gotta take Lactaid pills or have the day off the next day.
Remember pizza bagels?
Oh yeah, big pizza bagels kid growing up. Totino's, pizza rolls.
And we saw about the breakfast rolls the other night, right?
In on those.
I think Uno has a damn good frozen pizza. Cape Cod Cafe has a pretty good one around here. I've been eating a lot of cauliflower pizza. Do you know what else is great? Frozen French bread pizzas. Oh, French bread?
Yeah, back in high school, I had a buddy that worked at a pizza place in Bridgewater, and he would always tell us to get gold fever on French bread, and that was the
gold fever wings on French bread.
Just like gold fever chicken, pretty much. But yeah, it was a great move.
Did I just sound like Darth Vader?
A little bit.
By the way, since James Earl Jones has passed, we've been celebrating him all week long. I mentioned that James Earl Jones said that he grew up with a stuttering problem. Was it Cadillac Man? I can't remember what it was, but him and Robin Williams were in the same movie, and there's a scene. I don't know if you've seen this. But he's like, I really need a camcorder. And James Earl Jones is like, like, had the stutter going. And so Robin Williams ended up going, just and then he goes, you know what he said. And I just, those two together, priceless. I miss Robin Williams every day, man. There's some, Chris Farley, I watched Black Sheep the other night.
Every time Tommy Boy's on, I gotta watch.
So now you watch
at least 20 minutes.
You get Tommy Boy. Can you match that up at all?
Darth Murray.
Darth Murray.
I mean, that's spot on right there.
Okay. The power of the butter. Oh no.
That's Darth Murray right there. I don't know if you could try and do a better impression than that.
Are you listening to 98.5 The Sports Hub?
WBC-FM and HD Boston.
Patriots!
It's an all-new season for the Patriots.
Wow.
And you'll hear it all right here.
Yes.
Your home of the pass. 98.5 The Sports Hub. Beasley Media Group Station. Sports Hub headlines.
Well, the Red Sox won on a walk-off home run tonight. Guess who it was, Skaz? Pipes O'Neal. 395 feet to win the game tonight, 5-3. Nick Pivetta got the start, 6 innings, 9 strikeouts. Jansen pitched in the ninth, actually, and then Weiser got the win out of the bullpen. So the Red Sox win tonight. They'll take on the Yankees tomorrow. Looking at some of the other scores in Major League Baseball, Royals are tied with 3 with the Yankees right now. I'm trying to find the rest of the scores here. I can't stop thinking of that Darth Murray. Rays 3-2 loss. Twins won 6-4 tonight. Okay, so if we're looking at the standings at the moment, right now the Red Sox are 4 games back. Orioles, 4 games back of a wild card spot. And the Patriots, they're getting ready for Sunday. I'm Joe Murray, and I'm Darth Murray.
Boston's best sports talk. There's an app for that. Download the Sports Hub app for loads of stuff. Absolutely free. Connect with the shows, get podcasts, and more. Get it where you get your apps. Or at 985sportshub.com.
All right, back here at 98.5 The Sports Hub. I have a cramp from laughing. It's always the butter, man. Butter cake. It's always the butter, man. I'll just stick my finger in it if you want me to, and then I'll lick it. That's just as organic. I don't know how else. This is me, everybody. This is me. And I get it all the time. Oh, what do you want to listen to Joe for? He just talks about food all the time. Yeah, I don't do it all the time. But when I do it, it's good. Breathe, Joe. Spot on, Joe. Elios, not Elios. Celeste, so small now. You kind of stole my thunder. Stouffer's French bread pizza is so good. Let me add a Luke. I am your father. Thank you, Bill Burns, for sending that to my email. Butter beans, huh? Butterface. I'm just reading the chat, everybody. That's not me just saying these things.
You're almost a little Ron Burgundy there, Joe. You gotta be careful what you read on the prompter.
Wow. That really did sound like Darth Vader. Just can't make that up. I didn't even. That was real. That was. What was the song again that we played with Darth Vader the other night?
Yeah, his theme, March of the Empire or something. I don't know the name, but yeah, there's going to be some creative editing with that clip, I believe.
My God, I got a cramp from laughing. Ever happened to you? Oh. Does that mean I'm out of shape? Mike is in Brockton. Hey, Mike.
What's going on, guys?
How you doing, buddy?
Oh, my God. You talk about frozen pizzas, and you got me going. So, if you ever had those Tonys, right? They had the cup pepperoni. Those were great.
The cup pepperonis are so good.
The best thing is Mystic Pizza frozen, but it's not the cheese. You got to get the buffalo chicken only because you got the buffalo sauce in there instead of pizza sauce. It's the best frozen pizza you'll eat.
Can I tell you something? I love Mystic, Connecticut. I go there often because it's near Foxwoods. But, dude, sometimes I prefer the frozen Mystic Pizza over actual pizza in Mystic.
It's better. We stop at Mystic, too, on the way to Foxwoods every time, and the frozen buffalo chicken is better than getting the fresh pie there.
I'm validated on that, then.
Yes, absolutely.
Well, have you ever been to Sift Bakery?
No, but you got me intrigued.
Dude. Do it. Just take my word for it. It's called Sift. SIFT. Man, they got donuts, bro, and they got muffins, and they got croissants like you can't believe.
Wow. I got a birthday next week. I'll tell the wife. Thank you.
Yes. Thank you.
All right.
Have
a good night,
buddy. All right. Sift is listening. I will take a chocolate chip croissant. Benny, how you doing tonight?
What's going on, fellas? When are you gonna run a segment just on food, man?
I'm waiting for the day to someone to just say, "Hey, Joe, would you like to do a food show on our network?" And just let me come up with the creative ideas.
I think it needs to happen.
Listen, Benny, you know what? I put a lot of effort and time into trying to do other things, but now someone needs to court me now. You know?
Gotcha. Yeah, no, makes sense.
Know what I'd love to do? I'm not a baker. I'm not a guy who does desserts, but I just want to try things. I want to take a cupcake and just shoot ice cream into it or something. You know?
This sounds like a pothead's perfect dream right there.
Dude, listen. Do you think I come up with these things on my own?
No,
always
I didn't
under
think
the influence. So. Hey, did you hear my May watch? Read your article.
I did, man. That cracked me up. First off, Skaz was not wrong. I do miss my Celtics, man. I can't wait. But yeah, no, just that time at work, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna have to do this while the company's gonna pay me.
So, what was the overall takeaway is that Maye was nearby but wasn't really in the camera near Alex Van Pelt or Brissett.
Yeah, he's always a few feet away from Alex Van Pelt. It's almost like I'm trying to think of a way to explain it. Like your first time around a new group of friends and you're trying to slowly fit in, but you don't want to make it too obvious.
Yeah, you're minding your own business, but you're like making comments on the crew. Yeah, on the crew.
Like you're still close by to chirp in every once in a while.
Mm.
It's just a little weird to watch that. I mean, again, like I said, maybe the coach was just telling him, just kind of stand off. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what else to take from that.
What's your favorite frozen pizza, Benny?
Elio's. I think Elio's.
Elio's or Elio's?
Yeah, I say Elio's.
Yeah. What's the best pizza joint out your way?
Probably Pizza Chef in Millbury.
Oh,
I like Pizza Chef out there. Yeah,
Pizza Chef.
Good place. But my favorite pizza, well, I think I told you I was at Old Orchard recently, is Rocco's Pizza up there, right by the boardwalk.
Is it like a beach pizza, thin crust?
Thin crust, yeah. Little New York style, as they put it.
Oh, so it's a long slice.
Yeah, long slice. You have to get slices, though. The full pie, I feel like the slices are better than the full pie.
You know what, dude? Some places, the slices are better than the full pie.
Yeah, they just put it in there. You get the crispier bottom. The crust is so much better.
You know what it is, too, is sometimes when you leave it out and then you're like, you want me to heat it up, you're like, yeah, just zap it real quick, Yeah. It's so good after that.
I wanted to ask you, man, you mentioned Celtics Media Day the other day. Is that open to the public?
I think you need a press pass, bro, but you know what, though? You might as well look into it.
Yeah, I was trying to look. I can't see anything on there.
Yeah,
gotta get in there, man.
Yeah, I think you need a press pass because they're open to the media, But we're working on it. You know what's so funny? I saw Jim today and I didn't even say anything about it.
Well, listen, why don't you guys run some giveaway for it? Bring a guest pass for.
Well, you know what we'd like to do is, being able to have our own table and let guys sit with us and we can use the content for the year. You know what I mean? Like even if we can't play it right away, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I was just looking at the schedule.
I don't know. I would sit with every Celtic and ask them what their favorite frozen pizza was.
Who do you think would give you the best answer? I feel like Luke Cornett.
Who would give the best answer on that one, Skez? Luke Cornett loves to talk, that's for sure.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He just loves talking.
You know who I think would give the best answer? Joe Mazzulla. You know why?
Yeah,
because he'll be real cerebral about it. He'll be like, well, Joe, I really love when Pizza Hut did the cheese inside the crust, but it's got to be pepperoni. It can't be that. And I'd be like, man, okay, I got you, man. I feel you.
Joe gives you the full answer, the full breakdown of everything. Yeah, I'm with you. I think you turn my mind. Yeah, I think he would.
Or he'll tell you he put someone in some sort of Brazilian jiu-jitsu hold for the last pizza once.
Well, you saw his last line, right? I don't like being defending. I want to be the attacker. I want to see the dot on the forehead.
Yeah,
the guy dropped some lines, huh?
Yeah, and he also talks about the animal kingdom.
Guy's nuts. He's nuts.
He's my guy. He's ours, though.
Yeah, I'll take him, man. He brought us 18. So.
All right. Thanks, Benny. Appreciate you, bro.
Thank you, guys.
All right. One more before we go to break. I started it. It's my fault. But here's Matt on frozen pizza.
Yeah, frozen pizza from Aldi's. You got to get the meat lovers from Aldi's.
From Aldi? Like the Aldi market?
Yeah.
Dude,
yeah,
I've been, you know what's funny? I live near one. I've gone a couple of times. They got solid prices too, huh?
Oh, it's the best. Them and Market Basket, the cheapest prices.
Okay, the Market Basket, the store brand pizza is outstanding.
Yeah.
Just
Market
store
Basket's
brand.
the best. You need a quick meal for work. I work third shift, so you need a quick meal for work. You just run in there during the day. You could get 5 meals for the whole week. You don't even have to cook.
Yeah, all these and I don't know if they were in this area before, but I really like their stuff now.
Yeah, Aldi's pretty good. I'm from Warwick, but if you come through Providence, a lot of people get Casertas. I don't know if you've had Casertas on the hill before.
Oh, wow, okay.
Federal Hill.
I'll have to check that out, man. Is that where the Capitol Grill is over there?
Capitol Grill's a little bit farther, more towards downtown, but Federal Hill's where all the strict Italian.
Oh yeah. I stay at the what's the hotel there that I stay? It's the old one. I don't know. Yeah, I know what you mean though.
Yeah, that's cool.
Thanks,
all right, man.
Matt. Appreciate you. And that will do it for the frozen pizza talk tonight. We're on May Watch, everybody. And I got some numbers for you regarding Jacoby Brissett and the Seahawks and Michael McDonald. We'll do more of that coming up next here on 98.5 The Sports Hub.
Don't go anywhere. There's more Joe Murray. More Joe Murray. On the way on Sports Hub. Around here, we call them the Joe Murray Pre-Party. It's Felger and Maz afternoons right now. Joe Murray on the Sports Hub.
This week for the Seattle Seahawks, who has a history of going up against one Jacoby Brissett. And I have the numbers on the previous matchup with the two here. Last time that they played, Ravens versus, at the time it was the Browns. Jacoby Brissett got the start. The Browns scored 20 points in the game, but Jacoby Brissett was sacked 5 times. And one of my big takeaways this week for the Patriots is, they're going to run the football. Gerard Mayo will probably tell Michael McDonald that. He'll tell him, we're going to run the football. And I think that Seattle is a really good defense. And especially with McDonald in now with a little bit more exotic defenses, we'll see what it looks like. I thought it looked really good last week. They gave up 4 points to safeties. They gave up 20 in general. So they gave up 16 points. That's the amount of points that the Patriots scored all last week. I just think the Patriots are going to have to score 20 or more to do so. And I just wanted to, I brought up some other defenses that Brissett's gone up against as a starter. And I just go back to when he played the Dolphins against Boyer's defense. He got sacked 3 times. He scored 17 points. When he went up against Bill Belichick with Cleveland, he scored 15 points as an offense. He got sacked 4 times. Against another really good defensive coordinator, coach, Todd Bowles, scored 17 points, 4 sacks. So when Jacoby Brissett goes up against a really good defensive coordinator, generally he won't score 20 points in a game. He averages about 17, and he's sacked 3 times or more. What is going to be different this week? I think the Patriots are in a little bit of a tough spot, but here's where I think they can take advantage. I also think Seattle will nitpick the Patriots' defense. I think that the Pats will probably give up over 20 points this week. And it's because of DK Metcalf. It's because of Tyler Lockett. It's because of Jackson Smith and Jigba. It's about those guys. Those 3 are hard to defend. And Lockett's this guy that can play slot outside. He's just sneaky. He's not your average route runner by any means. But Kenneth Walker's been a really good running back. Over 100 yards last week. He didn't practice today. They also lost their right tackle, Fanta. So there's some things going on with them. Plus, it is their first road game for a brand new head coach. There's a lot of that there. It's the Patriots' home opener. If the Patriots are going to win this game or compete and score more than 16 points, it's going to happen with play action. And I wanted to give you these numbers really quick because I don't know how sustainable it is for the Patriots to play this style or expect them to get special teams turnovers by their long snapper or stop 2 plays on the goal line. I don't know how sustainable it is. But here's what I can tell you. There were times where Jalen Polk was open and they couldn't find him. And I think it was because of the Bengals pass rush. And, one other thing I wanted to say about the Patriots defense, Joe Burrow did not throw a ball past the sticks once. So as much as I want to credit the Patriots for pulling out a win last week, were they really challenged by a quarterback? They weren't. I think Geno Smith will. He's going to have to. Geno Smith is going to throw it up to DK Metcalf. He's going to look for Tyler Lockett across the field. And Jackson Smith and Jigba had a quiet week. That's their first round pick. He'll be matched up with Jonathan Jones. I think that's where they're looking at this week. I think that's where they're going. But if the Patriots want to actually make big plays because they couldn't do it last week, play action. And I know that sets them up to be sacked more. And that's why I think Seattle, as of right now, has the advantage. I think they can get at this offensive line and get to Jacoby Brissett if they do play action. Patriots are 21st in the league after week 1 with play action. You have to get Pop Douglas involved, and you got to find Jalen Polk because he's open. They had multiple opportunities to do that in week 1. They didn't. They won the game. But now you throw the Michael McDonald defense. Mount up. Mount up. All right, we'll have our final headline of the night. I'm Joe Murray. You're listening to 98.5 The Sports Hub.
Sports Hub headlines.
Red Sox win on a walk-off tonight. 5-3 was a home run by Pipes O'Neill. They find themselves still 4 games
the series against Baltimore.
Pipes. What is his first name?
Tyler.
Why would I know that? That dude's been Are we the only ones who call him Pipes O'Neal?
I think Pipes is, I wouldn't say popular, but he's referred to as Pipes O'Neal, I think, here and there.
What's his RBI now? Where was he?
30 home runs, 31 RBIs.
Actually, I'm going to look it up now. Wow. Walk-off win tonight for the Red Sox. They're still in it, man. They're still in it. You know what, guys? You know how, like, you get the successful season or not a successful season? In reality, this wasn't a successful season for the Red Sox. Like if we're grading papers, like, it's not a successful season. You get a C-.
D+.
I was going to say C-. You know why? Because they're still here.
Are they, though?
16 with 15 games to go, if we have an opportunity to talk about them still being in it, that's all we could ask for. And by the way, that's what 140-something games ago, this is all I asked for. Give us competitive baseball. But you know what? Know what really is sad about it all, though? If they really just kind of invested a little bit more at the beginning of the season. They're in it, you know. And I want to give Felger credit for this one because, you know, Felger always preaches, hey, if you're in it, go for it, right? This Red Sox team, I know that I know what I think they lack the most? Leadership. Like, they don't have like a guy that you can lean on. They just don't, and they'll work on that. They'll find somebody. I don't think it's Jarren Duran by any means. It's not Tristan Casas. It's not Kenley Jansen now, right? Like, they really don't have a guy that's, you know, Xander Bogaerts did that. And that's why I want to moving on from Devers is not the guy either, by the way. But Bogaerts every game would be the guy. You know, everyone would clear out. Everyone would be doing their thing, but he'd be the guy that was there. And I know that he wasn't riveting and, you know, polarizing or anything like that, but he took ownership for the team. And Pedroia would do it back in his day, too. They don't have that, and it's just, I think the leadership might be worth a game or two. Maybe even more. But they're 4 games back, and if they just had a little bit more leadership and just a little bit more help, they're a playoff team, and if you're in it, you have a shot. Like look at the American League, right? Look at all these standings. The Yankees are still fighting for the top spot in the AL East. Cleveland is 84 wins. Like, Houston's had their number, but they've done well against them. So guys, is there a legitimate team that you think the Celtics would just have no shot against? Sorry, the Celtics. The Red Sox have no shot against. It might be Houston because of, like, just the history there. But they just beat Baltimore. They've beaten the Yankees. They can beat Cleveland and the Royals and the Twins. Seattle. The only thing that makes these teams better is they have leadership and they probably have better pitching. That's it. That's it, those guys. Right?
Yeah, I mean, I am a believer that, you know, you just got to get in. It seems like in baseball, too, you know, recently that's been, you know, look at the Diamondbacks last year, got to the World Series, maybe the last team in the playoffs last year. So baseball has kind of swung in that way, but it's just, I don't see them getting it. I think the road is just too tough in front of them. There's just too many teams in the way, not enough games left.
All I asked for. Just get us can you get me into next week? How about this? This is all I ask for, guys. This week. So tomorrow's Thursday Night Football, right? We get a nice little divisional game tomorrow. And then we're 4th and Friday, baby. And we got college football Saturday. And then Patriots Sunday morning. Like, home opener. We react to it all on Monday. We start looking at the Jets on Tuesday night. Wednesday, we'll know who's playing and who isn't. And Thursday Night Football. By the way, next week we have a Revs game on Wednesday night and no show on Thursday because the Patriots. I'll be here late, though. Actually, Scott, do you get the night off?
I'll be the afternoon show. I'll be with Jay Stu and Felger and Maz.
So you have the night off? Oh, yeah, because Kevin does postgame. All right, that's a good deal. You'll take that, right?
Absolutely.
You get to watch a Patriots game on a night at home. Oh, what's on the menu for that? That's got to be better than frozen pizza.
That's next week, too.
Next week?
I'll be alone for the week, so yeah, I'll have to pick something up on the way home.
You just literally...
Yeah, the lights just...
you know, I told you, when the palm gets itchy, man, you know?
Little girlfriend's got a work trip to Colorado for the week, little conferences.
Colorado's got some good stuff. Ooh, they have a good big game this weekend, too, right?
Oh, yeah.
Colorado State, Colorado. But, thinking about it, what my whole point about this was, can the Red Sox get us to Friday next week? Can they get us to Friday next week? I just wanted to look at the schedule. I don't know, Skaz. I don't know if they can. But, are the Yankees rolling again? So this is where they have. They have 4 against the Yankees, 3 against Tampa. And then Friday night's Minnesota. Can they split the Yankees? Or can they steal the series? Because they should beat the Rays. The Rays are still hanging around too, but I think it's too late for them. And then 3 against Minnesota, Toronto, Tampa. Can you get us to next Friday? And anyways, we're going to be reacting to the Patriots anyways on Friday, but can they get us through that weekend? Can we come back on Monday potentially looking at a Red Sox playoff spot? This is real path talk right now, guys. Path math, it's here. Can you win the Yankee series and win 1? Now you're 3 games back. Can you take 2 out of 3 from Tampa? Now you're 2 games back. Can you take 2 out of 3 from the Twins? You're in it with Tampa Bay left at the end of the season. Path math right now. What's the fan graphs? Ooh, what is the betting line? What is the betting line for the... this is... I have to look at maybe some of the other schedules. But why not the Red Sox?
The Red Sox odds to make the playoffs. Would you like to guess, Joe, on fan graphs right now?
Okay, yeah, what do you got?
6.9% chance to make the playoffs for your Boston Red Sox.
They're not even on the list of teams that can win the championship right now on DraftKings.
Their percentage to win the World Series, according to Fangraphs, 0.3%.
They weren't even on the thing. All right, I'm out on the World Series. What's that final playoff spot? Can they get you there? Oh my God, this Friday night is Friday the 13th. Did you know that? We can't even watch the game. It's on Apple TV. Oh, that sucks. Let's see if there's a bad college football game on that night. What are we going to do, Skaz? Friday night, Arizona, Kansas State. That's a top 25 matchup. 2 really good quarterbacks. What is it, for FIFA? For Arizona's been really good. I'm locked in. Dude, this weekend's college football, by the way. You get Alabama, Wisconsin. Wisconsin always plays well at home. BC goes to Missouri. I think Oregon State's got a shot against Oregon, by the way they've been playing. Notre Dame, Purdue. Lifshatz thinks that Riley Leonard won't play. It's 10 points right now. Ole Miss has scored 70 points a game, and they're only 23-point favorites against Wake Forest. Whoa. Georgia, Kentucky. There's another one. And then Colorado State. So that's what we get on Friday night. But can the Red Sox get us through the next couple of games? Again, Patriots this weekend. You got the Thursday night football game against the Jets. On Friday, we'll react to it. Will there be watchable games against the Rays? Can they get there? I want to credit them because this is all I asked for this year. Can you give us one more week? All right, tomorrow's guys, we're gonna find out who the best Seattle player of all time is, Seahawk, and maybe we'll do some great plays in Seattle Patriots history. For Joe the intern tonight, for James Scaramazino, don't call him Jimmy. I'm Joe Murray. Thanks to Dan Lifshatz. Thanks to Darth Vader. Thank you all in our chat as well. I'm Joe Murray. We will talk to you guys tomorrow night, 7 o'clock here on 98.5 The Sports Hub.
More Joe Murray coming up on the Sports Hub.